in the Sweet 16. And so, but proof is in the pudding. Now we got to go produce at this next level, but definitely was very helpful.
And shifting to this matchup with LSU, with all the talent they have, what's important for your team to stay true to who you are as you approach this 40 minutes?
Well, there's no doubt LSU is incredibly talented, but for us to be successful tonight, it's going to be really important that we play a connected team effort. And if it's a series of one-on-one games, LSU is going to win. If we are connected and synergistic and purposeful together, I think I like our chances. And so I think that's really the most important thing is that what are we trying to accomplish together on both sides of the ball? And, whether it be how we set new screens, I think is going to be really important, to get the kind of looks that we want offensively, to be able to communicate and rotate really well in transition defense because 22% of their scoring possessions are in transition.
UCLA's Corey Close and her Bruins aiming for the first Final Four in program history. On the other side, we'll get the LSU perspective as Lance Meadows sits down with Kim Mulkey from the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network. This is the women's basketball tournament.
The strength of America, our values, our way of life hasn't just been won on the battlefield. It's won every day in our communities when we come together, extending hands of compassion, service, and hope to those who need it most. For over 100 years, the American Legion has been strengthening communities across our nation by providing life-saving help and support to our veterans and neighbors during times like we're facing today. It's what the Legion's all about. From blood drives to distributing food, from responding to emergencies and protecting the most vulnerable among us, our mission is making America's communities stronger.
We are one family, and therefore we care.
We are the American Legion, veterans strengthening America. To learn how you can help, visit legion.org.
Those who call the shots.
Will do some pretty cool things in their 40s and 50s. Why should saving for retirement be any different? I mean, they go back to college.
And you get guaranteed returns that beat most banks.
Learn new instruments.
On your timeline. For those
start skateboarding.
Start saving now.
Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for retirement is. With aceyourretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a 3-minute chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach from AARP. You'll get personalized recommendations based on your input that are easy to understand and work with your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back.
Gnarly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie.
So wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to LA and our Westwood One studios. I'm JB Long. This is a day that determined the difference between sweet and elite. Regional semifinals continuing in Albany and Portland. Our first game of the day features the LSU Tigers, who have been a lightning rod in women's college basketball. That comes with the territory as defending national champions. But there's also individual stars like Angel Reese and Haley Van Lith, and the fact that the SEC championship finished with a scuffle against undefeated South Carolina. And now there's a rivalry of a different sort between Kim Mulkey and the Washington Post. That much-anticipated story just dropped this morning. The LSU head coach, though, has tried to keep the focus on basketball in Albany as her Tigers prepare to face UCLA. Mulkey visited with Lance Meadows to discuss, among other topics, how the 24 Tigers are different from last year's champions.
Coach, I want to start with the fact that last year you had a team that went on to win the national championship, but things have evolved. 3 new starters. Where would you assess where the team is at this stage right now in comparison to where you were last year entering the Sweet 16?
A big difference is last year we kind of slid in the back door. Nobody was talking about us. This year everybody talks about you because you're the national champions from last year. A difference between last year's team and this year's team is age. You know, we've got some returning players, we've got some older players, but we have a lot of new pieces. Last year, you had, fifth-year transfers, you had seniors, you had just an older group. This year we've got a mixture of both.
In terms of the balance of your team, the rebounding front is what stands out, specifically as you look ahead to this matchup against UCLA. You're the top 2 teams in the nation in rebounding margin. How much is this a game, to use a football analogy, the battle in the trenches of the offensive and defensive lines, essentially?
I think you're spot on. I think the battle of the boards, no rebounds, no rings. And both teams do it unbelievably well. And we've addressed that. And it's not just your bigs rebounding, it's guards. And so we've got to do a better job than they do on making sure we win that rebounding battle, because it's going to be the difference in the game.
When you have 2 players like Angel Reese and Anissa Morrow, who are essentially double-double machines, how beneficial, Coach, is it to have that 2-headed monster, essentially, against a team like UCLA that offers size and presents a challenge on the interior?
Well, we've guarded size in our league. It won't be new for Angel to guard somebody bigger than her. I've always had this analogy with my team, this team in particular. You guys have got to figure out how to guard us, too. Do I see an advantage? They've got this, we've got this. No, I think both teams are outstanding. Both teams finished second in their leagues. Both teams have All-Americans. Both teams have athletes. Both teams have size. They have a little bit more size in one player. It's going to be a battle. They're the 2 seed, we're the 3 seed, and we're not supposed to win, but we're going to go down with a fight.
Well, Coach, I greatly appreciate the time. Best of luck.
You're welcome.
All right, LSU beat Iowa to win that 23 title. They would rematch in Monday's regional championship if both prevail today. This Saturday in the Sweet 16 begins with LSU UCLA. It continues with Caitlin Clark and top-seeded Iowa, Juju Watkins and 1-seed USC, and will finish with Paige Beckers and storied UConn. A regional weekend that raises the bar for women's hoops, and we've got it for you start to finish. Lance and Kim call the action next. You're listening to the Women's Basketball Tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
It's NCAA championship time. Fans of the hustle? Present. Fans of the heart? Present. Fans of the flash, grit, and grind? Present. The best fans in the lands are bringing everything they got for their team. Be there when your squad hoists the ultimate trophy overhead. The NCAA championships. Attendance is encouraged. Passion is mandatory. Buy your seats today at ncaa.com/tickets. Class dismissed.
Lance Meadow, Kim Adams back here with you. MVP Arena in Albany, New York, getting you set for number 3 seed LSU against 2nd seeded UCLA in the Sweet 16. Kim, normally I set you up for one of the 2 teams, but they're a bit of mirror images of one another. So let's set the stage from a big picture perspective first.
Oh, yeah, we have a dual key in this matchup for both teams, and that is going to be the battle of the glass because, Lance, we have the top 2 rebounding teams in the NCAA in terms of rebounding margin. UCLA number 1 at a plus 14 on the glass. LSU number 2 at a plus 13. On the offensive glass, LSU maybe a touch better. They are 4th in the country, grabbing about 17 offensive rebounds per game. UCLA top 15. They get about 15 rebounds per game. For LSU, you have to worry about 2 absolute beasts on the glass. Angel Reese averages 13 rebounds a game. Anissa Morrow averages 10. So you have 2 double-digit rebounders. For UCLA, we mentioned Lauren Betts at 6'7". She gives them 9 rebounds per game. What I'm really looking to in this matchup is which team can limit the other's second chance points. So rebounding, huge story. Then for UCLA, ball protection. This LSU Tigers defense forces 20 turnovers per game. They had 22 points off of turnovers in their 2nd round win over Middle Tennessee. But the good news for UCLA is they have the experienced guards to handle that pressure. Kiki Rice, just a sophomore, but she has just 1 turnover so far in the NCAA tournament. And then Charisma Osborne, the 5th-year Bruin. Those 2 are going to be ready to handle this LSU defense. And then a key for LSU, I think, is to find balance with perimeter shooting. We mentioned Reese and Morrow inside. LSU only makes about 4 threes per game. I think they may need to find 1, 2, maybe 3 more than their season average in this game because UCLA has a bit more perimeter firepower. And especially with Lauren Betts on the inside defending for UCLA, LSU, things are going to be tougher inside today. They're going to have to kick out of double teams. They're going to have to find shooters. A person that they would love to get going a little bit from behind the arc would be the transfer, Haley Van Lith. She's only made 1 3-pointer in the NCAA tournament so far, but she has almost 200 on her career. So if they could find HVL for a little 3-point power, that'll boost their chances in this one.
Speaking of LSU, let's take you through the starting lineup. And it is sponsored by Cintas. Workdays are better when you partner with Cintas. Keep your team protected, prepared, and looking great. Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday. The 3-seed LSU Tigers, 30-5 overall. Head coach Kim Mulkey in her 3rd season here with LSU, 90 wins and 13 losses. In the backcourt, they go with Flau'jae Johnson, the 5'10 sophomore of Savannah, Georgia. She is shooting a team-best 50% from the field and averages over 14 a game. Joining her in the backcourt, Haley Van Lith, 5'7 grad student out of Washington State, leads the team in assists with nearly 3.5 per contest. Michaela Williams rounds out the backcourt, 6-foot freshman out of Louisiana. She has been named the SEC Freshman of the Year. At one forward, Anissa Morrow, the 6'1 junior out of Chicago, Illinois, leads the team in steals and blocks, has 21 double-doubles, and that's second to her teammate, the other forward, Angel Reese, the 6'3 junior out of Baltimore, Maryland, who led the SEC in scoring and rebounding with nearly 19 points a game and 13 rebounds, the SEC Player of the Year. The number 2 seed at UCLA Bruins, 27-6 overall. Head coach Corey Close in her 13th season. Record at UCLA, 287 up, 139 down. In the backcourt, they go with Kiki Rice, 5'11 sophomore out of Bethesda, Maryland. Leads the team in assists with 4.5 per game. London Jones, 5'4 sophomore out of Riverside, California, has a team-high 83 threes. Charisma Osborne rounds out the backcourt, the 5'9 grad student out of Moreno Valley, California. She is leading the team in steals with nearly 2 per contest, all Pac-12 team selection. At one forward, Angela Dugalich, 6'4 senior out of Illinois. She averages 9 points and 6 rebounds a game. And rounding out the starting 5, the woman in the middle, Lauren Betts, the 6'7 sophomore out of Centennial, Colorado, leads the team in scoring, rebounding, and blocks, and is shooting a team best 65% from the field. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network, your home for the national championships.
We're your ultimate pass on the field and in the stands. Sirius XM College Sports Radio, Channel 84.
UCLA in its home white with blue and gold trim lettering and numbering. LSU in its purple road uniforms with gold trim lettering and numbering. The officials, Tiffany Bird, William Smith, Timothy Green, as UCLA wins the opening tip. Dugalich turns and fires, and her mid-range jumper falls through, and UCLA strikes first 2-0.
Aggressive start, just a quick look ahead off of the tap, and Dugalich aggressive move going up against a defender or two.
So the Tigers with their first possession. Van Lith high on the right wing, dribbling now, top of the key. Not a lot of movement without the ball for the Tigers. Johnson takes over left wing, 10 on the shot clock. Tightly guarded by Osborne, bounces it inside. And the right to left scoop shot is off the mark by Morrow, and UCLA grabs the rebound.
Well defended by Dugalich to make Morrow just send a wild one over the top of the backboard almost.
So UCLA hits its first shot. LSU misses. The Bruins back in business, leading 2-0 with 9:11 in the first. The long distant 3 by London Jones from the right side, off the left side of the rim, rebounded by Morrow. Outlet goes to Van Lith. LSU in the half-court set. Reese facing up on the right baseline. Her mid-range jumper skims the left side of the rim, deflected and tapped to Betts of UCLA.
Lauren Betts has a couple of inches on Angel Reese. She gets Angel Reese to step a couple feet out of the paint on that one for the short corner jumper. Doesn't fall.
Dugalich hands off to Rice, and a miscue between both players off of Rice out of play. That will give the ball back to LSU.
And we'll see who they credit that turnover with. But we mentioned Kiki Rice had just 1 turnover in the first 2 games of this tournament.
And that was an issue for LSU in their first game with 24 against Rice. They cleaned it up with 7 in their last game as Johnson's reverse layup, left to right, bounces off the right side of the rim, rebounded by the Bruins. LSU 0 for 2 from the field to start. Betts low on the right post, turns, working on Reese. The hook shot skims the front of the rim, rebounded by Reese. Morrow and Betts bang each other at the free throw line. They collide, and we're going to get a foul as Kim Mulkey is irate from the sideline. Now the officials are going to confer. They have not yet confirmed who they're going to go against, and the ball is going to stay now on UCLA's end. It's going to go against Morrow.
I'm trying to make sense of what exactly happened there. I saw Lauren Betts shove Anissa Morrow down. So I'm with Kim Mulkey, who already had an expletive on the sideline on that call. I think it should have been the other way.
Expletive is putting it politely, Kim. That is the first on Morrow, the first against the team, and then UCLA in possession. Van Lith bumps Osborne on the right wing. That's going to be number 1 on Van Lith, and the team second.
Yeah, I'm taking another look at this replay. Anissa Morrow was set up almost like she was setting a screen, and Lauren Betts just took 2 hands and pushed her way through it, but they called the foul on Morrow.
UCLA in the half-court set. Betts dribbles with her left hand on the post, gets tied up with Van Lith. Jump ball, possession arrow in favor of the Tigers. Our score here at MVP Arena, 2-0 in favor of UCLA. You are listening to the NCAA Women's Regional Semifinal presented by Intuit TurboTax. Along with Kim Adams, I'm Lance Meadow here on Westwood One.
And on that possession, Lance, as soon as Lauren Betts put the ball on the floor, Haley Van Lith came down from the top side and got her hands on it to force the turnover.
Van Lith operates high on the left sideline in front of the UCLA bench. The bounce pass to Williams. Straightaway free throw jumper. Up and in. And we're tied at 2 with 7:43 to go in the first quarter. UCLA not wasting any time. Rice dribbles around a Dugalich screen. Operates between the circles. Leaves it for Jones, right wing. Lobs it down low to Betts. Turns. Banks it in. Count the bucket. Plus the foul. She'll have an opportunity to complete the three-point play with a free throw pending.
And on that post entry, Lauren Betts catch it up top, and 2 purple jerseys come from the backside. Lauren Betts at 6'7" just shoots over the top of the triple team, and a really emphatic reaction from Betts on that one. She's fired up with some of the physical play that has happened early on in this game.
Foul goes against Reese, her first, the team's third. Betts up and in on the free throw, where she shoots 62% on the season. It's UCLA 4, LSU 2. It's 7:25 to go in the first quarter of this Sweet 16 here in Albany, New York. Van Lith, high in the right wing, beyond the arc, tightly guarded by Jones. Bullet feed to Reese, facing up off the right post. The pull-up jumper off the left side of the rim. Loose ball tapped up high by Osborne. She then tries to save it, and it's going to stay. No, now it's going to go the opposite way. She threw the ball off of Johnson. It hit her leg and then rolled out of play. It heads back to the Bruins.
Veteran play there for Charisma Osborne. But now this is 2 attempts in a row for Angel Reese, where Lauren Betts has really forced her a couple feet off the block.
So the Bruins shooting 50% from the field, in possession. They down low, get it to Betts. Out to Jaquez, who just checked in. Hands off to Rice. Rice gives up her dribble right wing, lobs it to Betts, double teamed out to Jaquez, her right corner contested jumper off the left side of the rim, rebounded by Williams, and UCLA will drop back, leading 5-2 here with 6:39 to go in quarter number 1. Dangerous pass, Van Lith recovers right wing, comes around a Reese screen, pull up, right side of the lane jumper off the left side of the rim, rebounded by Johnson of LSU, and the Tigers will retain possession. Turn around right wing 3, up and in, she drops it through. We're tied at 5 with 6.5 to go.
That's why we came on the air talking offensive rebounding. Johnson gets the rebound and rewards herself with 3 points.
And both of these teams are so nifty on the glass. We're seeing it early. Betts dribbling in the lane. The baby hook shot with the left hand bounces off the back iron and in. Betts has 5, and it's a 7-5 UCLA lead.
Nice patience from Betts, noticing that time that no double team came. She took it herself.
Osborne takes the ball away from Morrow. Lobs it up ahead to Jaquez. Too much mustard on that pass over her head, out of play. It will head back to LSU. And another turnover against the Bruins. That's number 3. Lance Meadow and Kim Adams here in our Grainger courtside seats at MVP Arena. Keep your team moving forward with Grainger. With over 1 million products, including hard-to-find items, Grainger can help your business get a leg up. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. UCLA now having last year Poa, the junior out of Australia, handling point guard duties. Came in for Van Lith at the last stoppage. Johnson has the ball. Step back, left wing 3, and swooshes it in. Flage Johnson showcasing the range. She's got a pair of threes. And LSU continuing the seesaw battle here, up 8-7.
Yeah, I mentioned I thought the Tigers are going to need to hit some 3. That's 2 for Johnson in the last minute or so.
Jones in and out on the 3 left wing, rebounded by Betts. Working on the left post. There was contact, no foul, short, as Reese gave her everything she could handle. Reese grabs the loose ball, and LSU now operating in the front court. Johnson bounces it to Morrow. Right baseline jumper. around the rim and out rebounded by Jaquez. And UCLA looking to push, trailing by 1 with 5 minutes to go in the first. Jaquez slashes left to right, loses the ball. Betts takes over top of the key, hands off to Rice, loses her footing, gets tripped up. We're going to get a foul, and Kim Mulkey once again showcasing her emotion. With that, a stoppage of play. It is LSU leading UCLA 8-7 with 4:53 to go in the first quarter of this Sweet 16 matchup. You're listening to the Women's Basketball Tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Feeling great starts with a great shave, and great shaves start with Barbasol Shaving Cream. That's Barbasol Shaving Cream, an American classic for over 100 years. Close Shave America, Close Shave Barbasol.
Barbasol. This March, Wendy's has some amazing deals on their hamburgers made with fresh, never frozen beef.
Like a juicy Dave single for $1 and a fresh $2 Dave's double with in-app offer.
It's such a good deal, we wrote a little ditty about it. Get it for $1. Dave single, order in the app. Dave single, get it for $1. Choose wisely, choose Wendy's official hamburger March Madness.
Limited time offer. Participating U.S. Wendy's. See offer details and redeem at Wendy's app. Account registration required. Fresh beef available in the contiguous U.S. and LS.
Business has always been about turning a profit, making money. But can it stand for something more? Something beyond dollars and cents? We think so. We think that today, business has a higher calling, a purpose to be fair and just, to do right by their workers, customers, communities, and the environment. And it turns out companies successful doing that also do better for their bottom line. When you see the Just Capital seal, it means this company is a force for good. Visit justcapital.com to learn more.
After 3 weeks of battling through the brackets, one team gets the chance to climb the iconic Werner ladder. The final net cutting is the culmination of all the hard work and effort it took to ascend to this moment. And getting here puts these players and coaches in rare air. It's the same for all the trade professionals working from 20 feet to 20 stories. Every day they challenge themselves to reach new heights, and Werner is the brand they trust to have their backs. Werner, the #1 pro ladder and official ladder of NCAA March Madness.
To win in basketball takes a can-do spirit. So shave with Barbasol and inspire your team. Raise that red, white, and blue can and yell, "We can do this." If it doesn't work, you still got a great shave. Barbasol, it's a can of can-do.
From now through the national championship game, you can hear the live stream of the NCAA Women's Tournament on WestwoodOneSports.com, sponsored by Wendy's. Get a Dave's single for just $1 and a Dave's double for just $2 with the offers in the Wendy's app. Wendy's, the official hamburger of March Madness. Limited time offer at participating U.S. Wendy's. Redeem in Wendy's app. Account registration required. See offer in Wendy's app for details. Lance Meadow, Kim Adams, back here with you in Albany, MVP Arena, the site of the Sweet 16, a matchup between third-seeded LSU, #2 seed UCLA, and it is LSU leading UCLA 8-7 with 4:53 to go in the first quarter, as UCLA is 3 of 8 from the field, LSU 3 of 9, and the fouls, Kim, starting to pile up. That was the fourth one. It went against Johnson, against the team, her first, and we're not even halfway through the first quarter here just about.
I do think LSU has gotten a couple of tough whistles. We talked about that collision coming up the floor between Betts and Morrow, and then the play that just happened, I thought Kiki Rice kind of fell on her own, thought it was going to be whistled a travel, and then they called a foul, so it's 4 fouls for LSU, just 1 away from the bonus, and not a whistle against UCLA yet.
So it's fair to say Kim Mulkey has not been pleased. By the way, for those of you sitting at the edge of your seat, Kim Mulkey is the living embodiment of Roy G. Biv. There is every color of the rainbow that she is sporting on her suit. There are sequins, there's pink, there's yellow, there's orange, there's purple, as Jones puts up the right corner jumper off the inbound, bounces off the left side of the rim, rebounded by Johnson. LSU back the other way, the Euro step in the lane, the floater with the right hand, short off the left side of the rim, but she was fouled and will shoot 2 at the line.
I was anticipating how you were going to describe Coach Mulkey's suit. I will add, as somebody who's into shoes, she has neon yellow highlighter stilettos as well. She's got the full look. It's a reflective outfit. If you look at it, you get blinded a little bit by the lights hitting the sequins.
I think you're spot on.
That's why it's a tag team effort. Kim Mulkey referencing that yesterday in our conversation, and I'm sure she would have the same exact response in person after hearing Kim's description. See, I don't just leave the color to you. You can provide a little play-by-play of the fashion wear. as Osborne picked up the personal. Johnson at the line to shoot 2. Up and in on the first. Flau'jae Johnson, the sophomore out of Georgia, comes in shooting 76% from the charity stripe.
Well, now you know the difference between a stiletto and a block heel.
The more you know. Johnson's second free throw is up and in. She cashes in on both.
And she's been everything for the Tigers. She has 8 of their first 10 points.
And it's 10-7 LSU in front of UCLA. Bruins in possession. Dugalich bounces it to Osborne. 15 on the shot clock. She's high on the right sideline. Now working between the circles. Dribbling out to the left. Tightly guarded by Williams. Osborne dribbles back to her right. Stops on the right elbow of the free throw line to Jaquez down the baseline. The runner, air ball, and recovered by Morrow. Outlet goes to Poa. So LSU up by 3, looking to pad its lead. Poa has her pocket picked by Jones. Jones clear path to the rim, stops, pops, and lays it in. And UCLA pulls within 1, 10-9.
London Jones, the smallest player on the floor at 5'4", just gets into the body of Poa and takes it coast to coast.
UCLA had missed its last 4 shots prior to that layup. Reese back to the bucket, leaning in with the scoop with the right hand, and it just floats up and in as LSU pads its lead to 3, 12-9 with 3:43 to go in quarter number 1. Osborne top of the key to Jaquez right wing beyond the arc. Back top to Jones. Straight away 3. Skims the left side of the rim. Dugalich tries to save it. She stepped out of play, and it will head back to the Tigers. Do you love golf? Turn your passion into a profession. Get started at pga.org/workingolf.
And Lance, Lauren Betts had been on the bench for a quick breather. Angel Reese took it right to the smaller lineup for her first bucket, and Corey Close went right back to the bench and put Lauren Betts right back in. I'm not sure how much rest she is going to get here today with having to battle both Angel Reese and Anissa Morrow.
They need all 6'7" of her frame. Betts, Dugalich, Osborne, Rice, and Jaquez, the 5 in on defense for UCLA. Van Lith now operating point guard duties for the Tigers. Beyond the arc right side. Tightly guarded by Rice. One-handed pass to Morrow. She's straight away with 15 on the shot clock. Dribbles towards the left elbow. Spins down the post. The skip shot around the rim and in. She put a maneuver on Dugalich. Sped her in a twirl. And it's now 14-9 in favor of LSU. Jaquez, left corner. Dumps it off to Dugalich, left elbow, back to Jaquez, and then slices through the defense right to left, lays it in. 14-11 LSU in front of UCLA.
That was a tough finish. Handoff and then through 3 defenders to lay it in on the left side.
Poa's runner too hard off the glass from the right side. Rebounded by Dugalich. Outlet goes to Jaquez in a 3-point game. Jaquez stops left side of the lane. Out to Osborne. Her 3 off the right side of the rim. Rebounded by Johnson. And the pace picking up here. LSU off to the races. Poa gets the loose ball. She's left all alone. Pulls up, right side of lane jumper, off the left side of the rim, rebounded by Rice. UCLA back the other way. Rice, off balance floater, rolls around the rim and out. Recovered by Betts. Kicks it out to Dugalich. Top of the key is Osborne. With UCLA trailing by 3. Dugalich gets it back. Fires the right wing 3, in and out. Rebounded by Poa. She falls to the floor. A foul on the Bruins. And now UCLA picking up its second as a team.
And we came on the air talking about LSU needing to make some threes. Well, UCLA is 0 for 7 to start the game. That was a really good look from Dugalich. Her defender was caught in the paint, and it just hit all parts of the rim and rimmed out.
And Osborne picks up the personal, so that's 2 on her. LSU bringing it back the length of the court, up by 3, 14-11, 2:05 to go in the first quarter of this Sweet 16 matchup. Van Lith, pull up, right elbow jumper, shoots with her left hand, short. Rebounded by Rice, it's a 2-on-2 break. Rice down the lane, loses the ball, picks it up left post. Back to the bucket, out to Dugalich, hands it back to Rice. Further down on the post is Jaquez, the up, the under, and lays it in with the left. As Jaquez providing a spark off the bench. She's got 4, and it's 14-13 LSU. Johnson loses the ball. Guess who picks her pocket? Jaquez. 2-on-1 break. Jaquez takes it herself. Off balance scoop shot with the left. No good. Rice is there to clean it up. She lays it in. And LSU is now trailing as UCLA stepping it up with a 15-14 advantage.
The sophomore Gabriela Jaquez is such a special talent, so much potential. She forces the turnover, and she's given them a lift on the offensive end in the last couple of possessions.
It's a 6-0 run for the Bruins. Van Lith down the right side of the lane, switches hands, off-balance shot. Too hard off the glass, but there was contact, so Van Lith will head to the free throw line. The women's Final Four heads to Cleveland next week, and you could still be a VIP with the NCAA experience. Get your premium tickets, travel, and hospitality all in one place. To learn more, visit ncaa.com/VIP today. Foul went against Rice, her first, team's third. LSU on a scoring drought of just over 2 minutes, and Van Lith will try to end that. She shoots 83% from the line on the season. And her first attempt in and out, the transfer from Louisville, who has fit in very nicely, Kim, throughout the course of this season, given she's had to sacrifice on the scoring end.
Yeah, Haley Van Lith was always a shooting guard, got many more shots at Louisville. Now she's shifted to the point guard.
Second attempt, bends her knees, up and in. She makes 1 of 2. We are tied at 15 with just over a minute to go in quarter number 1. The 2-3 matchup in the Sweet 16. Rice at the free throw line. Gives it up to Sonntag, who just checked in. She gets it back from Betts. Her left corner 3 hits the top of the backboard. Jaquez comes in out of nowhere, grabs the loose ball. They'll reset. Cam Brown, free throw line, top of the key to Rice. Rice, long 2, right side of the lane. Off the left side of the rim. Betts handles the hot potato. 19 on the shot clock. Kicks it out to Rice. Barrels her way through traffic. Offensive foul. Poa sacrificing her body. For Rice, that's going to be number 2. And that's already now 14 fouls on the Bruins.
And that's problematic because the 4 fouls have come against their 2 best guards. 2 for Kiki Rice, 2 for Charisma Osborne. And a sub is now coming in for Kiki Rice. So the 2 best guards are now sitting on the bench for Corey Close's group.
London Jones returns to give Rice a breather. Jones joins Brown, Jaquez, Betts, and Sonntag. The sophomore out of Germany, as Angel Reese is on the side by the LSU bench. She's trying to wipe her face. Looks like sweat or
bloody nose.
Perhaps with her nose.
Bloody nose. They're trying to stop the bleeding, but they're having a tough time. Got the nose plug in now, and looks like she's good to go.
Stay up to date with the NCAA tournament by following Westwood One Sports on X. We'll be posting highlights, tip-off alerts, and most importantly, direct links to listen to your favorite team live. Follow Westwood One Sports on X today. LSU basketball in a tie game with UCLA, 15 all. 34 seconds and counting. There's about a 12-second differential between shot clock and game clock. Reese gets the feed off the right post, backing her way in on Betts. It rolls around the rim and out, and Betts is going to win that battle. Outlet to Brown, and now UCLA can hold for the final shot of the first quarter with the game tied at 15.
UCLA has not scored a point outside of the paint so far, aside from 1 free throw. They have 14 points in the paint.
And they have missed their last 4 shots, no field goals in the last 2:49. Jones straightaway jumper. It was blocked by Van Lith partially. They're going to say it was a clean air ball as the ball bounced out of play, and we'll head back to the Tigers. Kim, I thought Van Lith got a piece of that.
Yeah, tough one. Plenty of time here for LSU to go to the length of the floor. 6.7 on the clock.
They inbound to Williams. Williams working up the right sideline. 3 seconds and counting. Williams spots up right side of the lane. Jumper, no good off the back iron. And that is going to do it for the first quarter of action with 10 minutes in the books. LSU and UCLA tied at 15. Kim, both teams got into foul trouble, and as we expected, really a battle inside between the front courts.
Yeah, absolutely. UCLA 14 of 15 points in the paint. Their perimeter shooting is going to have to pick up, but all things considered, you have to be pretty happy to be tied at this point. Lauren Betts has certainly altered the production of Angel Reese and Anissa Morrow.
That is the end of the first quarter. LSU and UCLA tied at 15. From the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network, this is the Women's Basketball Tournament.
It's tournament time on Mad Dog Sports Radio. Lock into Channel 82 throughout the day for wall-to-wall tourney coverage. From live listen-ins to Westwood One's call.
UConn has its 5th national championship.
To instant reaction with you on the phones.
The seeding this year has been a mitigated disaster.
Mad Dog Sports Radio is your home for the upsets, the buzzer beaters, and non-stop NCAA tournament coverage. It's all on Channel 82 or anytime on the all-new Sirius XM app.
throughout March, Coach K breaks down the NCAA tournament on Sirius XM.
To me, the hardest game a coach has to win is the Elite Eight.
Hear men's college basketball's winningest coach share his unique perspective.
The most pressure that a coach has, he not only sees the promised land, he knows the bridge that you have to go over.
It's Basketball and Beyond with Coach K. Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 5 Eastern on College Sports Radio, Channel 84 in the car, and the all-new Sirius XM app.
Baseball is back, and you can hear every MLB game on Sirius XM.
This team never stops.
Hear your hometown announcers on the all-new Sirius XM app.
They celebrate at home plate.
And talk baseball every day with our team of former players and executives on MLB Network Radio, Channel 89.
There's just something about opening day of the Major League Baseball season.
Get closer to the action on Sirius XM and the all-new Sirius XM app.
Your home for analysis and reaction of ACC teams in the NCAA Women's Basketball Tournament is ACC Today.
Knocks it down and pumps her fist.
Join us weekdays from 8 to 11 a.m. Eastern on SiriusXM ACC Radio. We'll be breaking down the action with ACC basketball experts like Dallin Cuff.
That team is going to be a tough out.
John Henson.
Everybody's got a chance.
Plus, we'll be talking to players and coaches as they advance through March. Weekdays from 8 to 11 a.m. Eastern on ACC Radio, Channel 371.
That is huge.
To the Elite Eight. For Kim Mulkey, it would be her 12th appearance, which would tie her for 4th all-time behind Gino Auriemma with 27, along with Pat Summitt, Tara Vanderveer, and Leon Barmore. That's the fact of the game, sponsored by Kohl's. It's a new season at Kohl's. Find fresh everyday styles for you and your home at great prices. Shop Kohl's and Kohl's.com today. Lance Meadow, Kim Adams back here with you in Albany, MVP Arena. Number 2 seeded UCLA, 3rd seeded LSU tied at 15 in their Sweet 16 matchup as we get ready for the start of the second quarter. Both teams combined for 8 personal fouls in quarter number 1. Shooting percentage-wise, UCLA shooting 32% for the field, LSU at 31%, and the rebounding battle is in favor of the Bruins, 14-11. But three-point shooting, 0 for 8, Kim, for UCLA.
Yeah, that is a problem area. And UCLA doesn't shoot an incredibly impressive percentage, just 32% on the season, but they do make about 7 per game. So to have a 0 in that category is a bit concerning at this point. But what's maybe most concerning, Lance, is that their 2 best guards have already picked up 2 fouls there in the first quarter. Kiki Rice, who's been their best guard in the tournament so far. Charisma Osborne, who is their veteran leader, their best perimeter defender. So it appears that right now Coach Close is going to leave those 2 out. Interesting to monitor whether she elects to put them in at all here in the second quarter. I would say if the game stays tight and she can protect them a little bit, to leave them on the bench. But if LSU starts to go on any sort of a run, she's probably going to have to put at least one of those 2 guards back in the game.
UCLA basketball to start the second quarter from the near right sideline. Opposite the benches, Jaquez, Brown, Santak, Betts, and Jones, the 5 in for the Bruins. Santak has the ball, left wing, dumps it down low to Betts, off the left post. Cross-court feed to Jones off the pump, pulls up at the free throw line, gives it out to Brown, plays catch with Jones. She's straight away, gives up her dribble. Now out to Brown on the right wing, back top to Jones. Jaquez takes over left wing, 8 on the shot clock. Ball knocked out of play by Reese. It will stay with UCLA. They'll have 6 on the shot clock. On defense, the Tigers go with Williams, Morrow, Reese, Van Lith, and Johnson. Brown to inbound left baseline, opposite the LSU bench. Underneath their own bucket, lobs it. Intended for Betts, intercepted by Reese. Reese has a clear path to the bucket, lays it up off the right side, and LSU unties the knot. 17-15 right out of the gates here in the second quarter.
UCLA really trying to feed it into Betts. Reese skies up and just has the speed advantage to get by Betts for the open court layup.
That was the 5th turnover for UCLA. LSU has scored 7 points off those mishaps. Betts gets the entry pass on the right post. Out to Jaquez. Wide open 3 and dials up long range. Jaquez Jaquez has had the hot hand. She's got 7, and it's a UCLA 18-17 advantage with 9 minutes to go in the second.
And the first 3 for the Bruins, they're going to need to hit those because LSU is triple teaming Lauren Betts on the catch.
Johnson off the curl, stops right elbow. Across the free throw line is Morrow. Spins towards the right post. Off balance hook, in and out. Rebounded by Betts. Outlet goes to Brown. UCLA slowing things down as they enter the front court. Up by 1. Jaquez gets the handoff from Brown. Leaves it for Betts straight away at the free throw line. And contact away from the basketball, down low on the post. And it's going to be an offensive foul, which is going to send the ball back to LSU. Sonntag was the one that was down low trying to gain position. And we have an LSU player down. It looks like Morrow was shaken up, Kim, as she's being attended to by the training staff as well as Reese and Johnson, who are assisting her up. As we're now going to see the replay on our monitor. And Sonntag tripped up Morrow as they were down low on the right post.
Yeah, it didn't seem as bad as the reaction that we're seeing from Morrow. Bit of a hip check, but she went down hard. Has maybe a tear or two coming down as we're looking at the monitor.
And they're going to go back to the monitor themselves, the officiating crew, to review it. Lance Meadow and Kim Adams here at our Grainger courtside seats at MVP Arena. When you need products in a pinch, Grainger's got you covered. Get same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. Call, click, Grainger.com, or stop by to get what your business needs.
So I just saw another replay of it. I don't think it's warranted for an upgrade. I thought it was just a physical play in the post that we've been seeing throughout this game. There was maybe the slightest extension of the elbow from UCLA's Sonntag, but I do think Morrow also sold it a little bit on the fall, but I would be surprised if this gets upgraded.
We'll step aside. There's a timeout on the court. UCLA leads LSU 18-17 here in the second. You're listening to the Women's Basketball Tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
With Progressive Snapshot, you could save on auto insurance rates by driving safely, which is great because you're rarely rewarded for just being you. Ever get rewarded for being left-handed? No. You get to use weird scissors. Your reward for being a Capricorn? Cold birthdays that conflict with the holidays. And your reward for quickly responding to every work email? More emails. But with Snapshot, even left-handed Capricorns with proper email etiquette could get rewarded for good driving. So download the Progressive app today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in all states or from all ages.
Where are my basketball fans at? Present. Welcome to Fandom 101. The NCAA men's hoop season is here, meaning it's time for you to bring a little charisma and chaos for your squad. Be the sixth man in the stand. NCAA Division I men's basketball. Attendance is encouraged. Passion is mandatory. Buy your seats today at ncaa.com/MVP tickets. Class dismissed.
You've probably already heard about how effective medications like Ozempic, Wegovy, or Zepbound are. But did you know that these revolutionary shots may be available to you online through the Roe Body Program? Roe provides access to these shots, and they also offer support throughout the process to help you reach your goals. Roe's partner handles all of the insurance paperwork for you to help get medications like Ozempic covered. And if you're eligible for prescription medication, you'll have access to your provider on demand for any questions. Plus, one of the best parts of the Body Program is that you can sign up online from the comfort of your own home. So sign up today, and you'll pay just $99 for your first month and $145 a month after that. Medication costs are separate. Go to ro.co/hoopsradio to help reach your goals. That's ro.co/hoopsradio. For important safety information, including a boxed warning about prescription GLP-1 medications, see ro.co/safety-info/GLP-1.
Remember, you can hear Westwood One's exclusive coverage of the men's and women's Sweet 16 and Elite 8 on TuneIn Premium, your audio app for live sports, music, and more as the remaining schools battle for spots in the Final Four. Listen live on TuneIn Premium. Download it and search for Westwood One. Lance Meadow, Kim Adams back here with you. Albany, New York. Sweet 16 matchup between number 2 seed UCLA, 3rd seeded LSU. 8:32 to go in the second. UCLA leads LSU 18-17. So they took a look at the last foul. It's upheld. It's going to be a common foul on Sonntag. And Kim, you and I were looking at the monitor, and they were trying to fight for position down low on the post, and it didn't seem to rise to the occasion of beyond something that you would imagine seeing on a basketball court.
No, I think that was the correct call to not upgrade anything. It's been a physical game inside. I don't think anything that's pushed the boundaries of being too physical. But I think that was the correct call. But the fouls have evened out. It was 4 fouls on LSU, 0 on UCLA. There's now been 5 straight fouls called on the Bruins.
And Osborne has 2 of them. She's back in on defense with Jones, Dugalich, Betts, and Jaquez. The left elbow jumper by Johnson off the mark. LSU there to clean it up. And Betts comes through with a block, but they're going to get a foul on Betts as well as she denied Aaliyah Del Rosario, who just checked in.
At first glance, it looked clean to us. Corey Close couldn't believe it. She's pointing to the scoreboard in the arena. Oh, man, Lance, that was a gorgeous block.
That was all
Lauren
ball.
Betts. I think she hit her own teammate. There were 2 Bruins going up for the block. Betts' hand came down against Dugalich. Nothing on the LSU player.
So that is going to be number 1 on Betts. Del Rosario to the line. She hits her first. The freshman out of Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. SEC all-freshman team selection. She's 6'6". So Betts has an inch on her, but it looked like she was about 5 inches taller than her, as both free throws are good by Del Rosario.
And I like the decision of Corey Close to put Charisma Osborne back in the game. Their offense looked a bit out of sorts, but on cue, Charisma Osborne turns it over.
Van Lith gets it, lobs it up ahead to Williams, and that last foul was not on Betts. They got Dugalich instead. Reese low on the right post, working on Dugalich, and somehow just throws it up and in, and lets Dugalich hear about it as they head back the other way. 19-18 LSU, 7:45 to go in the second quarter. Betts gets the bounce pass from Jones, working left post, turns, tries to hook it in, and a foul on Del Rosario.
Just to go back to that last possession, a lot of talk there from Angel Reese. Gave the too small gesture and then looked right in the face of Dugalich, said something to her, clapped in her face. So we know Angel Reese is not going to back down.
And Dugalich had a smirk on her face as she was heading back. Dugalich and Osborne are going to head to the bench. It's now Jones. Rice is back in for UCLA with 2. Betts at the line with Jaquez. And rounding out the group is Christine Iwala, the 6'2 sophomore out of San Antonio. And Lauren Betts' second attempt off the left side of the rim, rebounded by Jaquez. 21-18 LSU, and the ball's deflected out of Rice's hands, out of play by Van Lith. So it's going to stay with the Bruins. They'll have 16 on the shot clock here.
Jaquez has been a tremendous rebounder for them in the NCAA tournament, averaging 9 rebounds per game, gets the second chance for her team here.
So UCLA trying to make up for Betts' 2 missed free throws. Rice's 3 from the left wing, off the left side of the rim, rebounded by Del Rosario, outlet to Williams. LSU in possession, up by 3 with 7:20 to go in quarter number 2. Williams dribbles right to left, has a step on Jaquez, can't finish on the bunny, rebounded by Betts, outlet to Rice. Rice has a step on 2 defenders, though the ball poked out from behind. Jaquez picks it up left post, out to Iwala, back to Jaquez, wide open left corner 3, off the right side of the rim, rebounded by Reese, outlet to Van Lith. Van Lith across the court, gets it to Johnson. Johnson doesn't have the numbers, flares out on the right baseline. Down the baseline, spins, twirls, and throws it in. Flage Johnson is a rapper, and it's poetry in motion here on the court. 23-18 LSU with a timeout taken by the Bruins. They are on their feet off the LSU bench as the defending champs adding a little breathing room. A break in the action. A 5-point advantage for the Tigers as you are listening to the Women's Basketball Tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Don't you love an extra $100 in your pocket? Have a TurboTax expert file your taxes for you by March 31st to get $100 back instantly. Because no matter what moves you made last year, TurboTax makes them count. That means getting $100 back and 100% accurate taxes. Only from Intuit TurboTax. Must file by 3/31. Credit only applicable to federal filing fees with TurboTax full service. Offer can be modified or terminated at any time.
My PTSD when I came home was pretty bad. You come into civilian life and you just don't fit in anymore. But something extraordinary happened in my life. PGA home. Playing with the veterans and being together, that's our safety zone. The one thing that we're missing in civilian life, where do we fit in again? and that would be PGA Hope.
You've probably already heard about how effective medications like Ozempic, Wegovy, or Zepbound are. But did you know that these revolutionary shots may be available to you online through the Roe Body Program? Roe provides access to these shots, and they also offer support throughout the process to help you reach your goals. Roe's partner handles all of the insurance paperwork for you to help get medications like Ozempic covered. And if you're eligible for prescription medication, you'll have access to your provider on demand for any questions. Plus, one of the best parts of the Body Program is that you can sign up online from the comfort of your own home. So sign up today, and you'll pay just $99 for your first month and $145 a month after that. Medication costs are separate. Go to ro.co/hoopsradio to help reach your goals. That's ro.co/hoopsradio. For important safety information, including a boxed warning about prescription GLP-1 medications, see ro.co/safety-info/GLP-1.
If you can't get to a radio to hear our broadcast, you can listen to every moment of the remaining games of the 2024 Women's NCAA Tournament for free. Just download the March Madness Women's Basketball app on the Varsity Network app on your mobile device. You can also hear the games on Alexa-enabled devices and online, too, at our website, westwood1sports.com. Lance Meadow, Kim Adams with you here in Albany, New York, MVP Arena. UCLA trailing LSU 23-18 in the 2-3 matchup, game one of our doubleheader here in the Sweet 16. And the Bruins, they have two issues: foul trouble and Kim turnovers. 7 turnovers. LSU has cashed that in for 11 points.
Yeah, the offense for UCLA is really struggling right now. About 13 minutes into this game, the Bruins have only made 1 field goal from outside of the paint. They are 1 of 10 from 3, and when you're shooting that poorly, you can't afford to have 7 turnovers against this LSU team who can run it back so quickly. LSU already has 11 points off of those 7 turnovers.
They are making the Bruins pay and then some. UCLA basketball out of the timeout with 6:42 to go here in the second quarter. Iwala gives it up to Rice, left wing. Back to Iwala, top of the key. Hands off to Rice. Pulling up at the free throw line. She took a double dribble. And that is going to give it back to the Tigers, and that's turnover number 8.
The pressure is really bothering UCLA as a team and bothering Kiki Rice, who's still a younger player but has been so calm, cool, and collected through the first 2 rounds. A couple of turnovers here. Her 3rd turnover. We came on the air saying she had just 1 turnover in the first 2 games of this tournament.
LSU is on a 6-0 run in the last minute 40. UCLA hasn't scored in over 2.5 minutes. Williams, pull up right side of lane jumper as she falls to the floor, drops it in over the taller Betts, and LSU now on an 8-0 run, 25-18 Tigers.
Just using a solid screen from Angel Reese and reading it perfectly with no defender really stepping up to Williams.
Jaquez drives right side of the lane, has nowhere to go, gives it up to Iwala above the free throw line to Jones left wing, back top to Rice, 10 on the shot clock. Iwala facing up at the free throw line, hands off to Jaquez, 6 to go on the shot clock. The runner with the right hand, short. There was contact as Williams was in the vicinity for LSU, and Jaquez will head to the line.
And right now, Lance, UCLA cannot get the ball into Lauren Betts. Angel Reese is really sagging off of Iwala and almost having a permanent double team off of Betts. She's going to have to move around a little bit more to try to get some touches.
Foul goes against Williams, her first, and the team's second here in quarter number 2. Jaquez first free throw up and in. No fees or minimums, and no overdraft fees are another reason banking with Capital One is the easiest decision. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank. Capital One, NA member FDIC. Jaquez hits both. 25-20, LSU leading UCLA with 5:45 to go in the second quarter.
And Corey Close just subbed in Dugalich for Iwala so that LSU cannot tightly pack the paint that much.
Dugalich joining Betts, Osborne, Jaquez, and Jones. Loose ball as Williams tried to get it to Van Lith on the left sideline, rolled past her, out of play. We'll give it back to UCLA.
I mean, all things considered, it seems like UCLA should be down at least 10. This is still just a 2-possession game. If they can clean things up and find a little momentum here before the halftime break.
Considering they have not made a field goal in over 3.5 minutes. Only down by 5. Betts holds the ball high above her head, above the free throw line. Swings it to Jaquez. Thinks about the 3 right wing. Top of the key to Dugalich. Fires the 3 in and out. It goes over the head of Van Lith into the hands of Osborne, and UCLA back in business with 15 on the shot clock. Osborne plays catch with Jones. In a triangle, they form it with Betts. Loose ball deflected out of play. Last touched Van Lith of LSU. It will stay with the Bruins. They'll have 9 on the shot clock.
And there's been more movement on that possession. They've moved Betts inside and out a little bit, trying to free her up.
So no made field goals in over 4 minutes now for UCLA. Osborne left baseline to Jones, puts up the 3 for the left wing, skims the rim, rebounded by Johnson of LSU. It's a 3-on-2 break. Johnson, crossover dribble, down the right side of the lane, the scoop shot, short. But Jones reached in of UCLA, and Johnson will head to the line.
Flau'jae Johnson has been really good in this game. She's knocked down a couple threes. Anytime the ball has been in her hand, she's looking to push up the middle of the floor. She's looking for her attacks, and she has led this Tigers offense.
So that was number 1 on London Jones. Team's third here in the second quarter. Jones will take a seat. Rice comes back in. Rice has battled foul trouble as she has 2. And Flau'jae Johnson, a 76% free throw shooter who's 2 for 2 today, will go to 3 for 3.
And it's the first time we've seen Corey Close put both Kiki Rice and Charisma Osborne back in the game together with 2 fouls as they're trying to find some offense here to close the half.
Johnson second attempt, off the back iron, rebounded by Betts, and then a foul on Del Rosario jumping over the back of Betts. That's number 2 on her, and the team's third here in the second quarter. So UCLA has to go the length of the court with Dugalich inbounding. Morrow back in for the Tigers. Del Rosario takes a seat. So it's now Morrow, Johnson, Reese, Williams, and Van Lith, the 5 in on defense for the Tigers. UCLA basketball trailing by 6 in the half-court set. Rice, tightly guarded by Johnson, has nowhere to go. Swarming defense. Gets it to Osborne, further down on the left wing. Dangerous lob to Betts. Betts recovers. 14 on the shot clock. Top of the key to Jaquez. Drives right side of the lane, loses the ball as she goes up. 2 officials are going to confer it will stay with the Bruins. 9 on the shot clock here.
But that's how you want to attack out of the double team of Betts. Jaquez catches it behind the three-point line and tries to rip and go.
4.5 minutes without a made field goal for UCLA. Osborne tries to inbound it to Betts' right wing. Intercepted by Reese. Reese will take it into the front court, give up her dribble. Van Lith comes back to the basketball and resets high on the left sideline. 19 on the shot clock. Van Lith left alone. Off the screen, the left wing 3, off the back iron, rebounded by Betts, outlet to Rice. UCLA looking to push. No field goals in over 4.5 minutes. Osborne's 3 off the right side of the rim. Loose ball tapped around. Williams grabs the rebound for the Tigers. Ice cold for UCLA.
Had the same exact thought. That was about to come out of my mouth. They cannot hit anything right now.
Johnson loses the ball, saves it to Rice. Rice down the left side of the lane and spins it in with the right hand to finally stop the bleeding. 26-22, LSU in front by 4 over 5 minutes, ends without a made field goal for the Bruins as Van Lith lets it fly from the left elbow, in and out, rebounded by Dugalich, outlet to Rice. UCLA trying to pull closer. Rice stops at the free throw line. The up and under shot around the rim and in. Kiki Rice, lifting the UCLA bench to its feet as the Bruins somehow trail this game by only 2 with 3.5 minutes to go in the second quarter as now LSU has cooled off. Stay with us for the Wendy's NCAA Tournament Halftime Report. JB Long will look ahead to tonight's games in Portland, as well as an interview with Colorado head coach J.R. Payne. That's coming up at the half, sponsored by Wendy's, the official hamburger of March Madness.
Well, Lance, defense and rebounding is keeping UCLA in the game right now as they were really stalled offensively. We talked about the importance of rebounding. LSU has just 2 offensive rebounds in the game, and they're shooting just 36%. So UCLA is cleaning up the first miss. Last couple of possessions, they've been able to get out and run, play with some pace. LSU hasn't always had 5 players sprinting back. So that's how UCLA is going to have to expose that a little bit.
Trying to see whether or not they can get an advantage in the transition game, especially given all the ball handlers that UCLA showcases, and their front court players are very good hustling up and down the court. So it's LSU basketball out of the timeout here. Tigers up by 2, 26-24. Hoa running point with Morrow, Johnson, Reese, and Williams. Morrow spins into the lane. The floater up and in as she got a move on Osborne, and LSU Up by 4, 28-24 with 3:13 to go in the second.
Yeah, mismatch there. Morrow much bigger and so quick with the ball on that spin move.
Dugalich stops her dribble left wing, back top to Rice. Dugalich, left wing three, air ball, bounces out of play, and I will give it back to LSU as the Bruins are 1 of 14 from three-point land.
And we could just see Corey Close mouthing to Dugalich, get the ball to Lauren. Lauren Betts is 6'7". She needs to get more touches. She doesn't have to take the shot, but she commands multiple defenders. That's going to open up.
Reese with the backdoor pass to the cutting Morrow for an easy lay-in off the left post. LSU with 4 quick points out of the timeout. It's a 6-point advantage for the Tigers.
Morrow, such a tough matchup at the 4 because she is so quick on the first step.
Jaquez operates beyond the arc left wing in the corner to Dugalich. She tries to bounce it to Betts. Kick ball by Morrow will stay with UCLA. They'll have 20 on the shot clock. Suntok back in. Dugalich takes a seat for the Bruins. So it's Suntok, Jones, Rice, Jaquez, and Betts, the 5 in. Rice will inbound left baseline underneath her own bucket. Everybody breaks. Rice indecisive. Finally lobs it dangerously to Betts, who had to jump over Reese, top of the key. Rice takes over straight away. She's beyond the three-point line. Spins around Johnson. Crossover dribble down the right side lane. Blocked from behind by Reese. As Angel Reese yells the way of Rice as they head back the opposite side. Johnson jabs right wing for LSU. She's beyond the arc. And there was contact away from the basketball. Betts and Reese fighting for position. Low on the right post. And they're going to get Betts on the personal.
LSU defense continues to be disruptive from all positions of the floor. It was Reese on the steal that time. Now 9 UCLA turnovers.
That was the 4th foul on UCLA. Poa gets it right side lane to Johnson. Step back elbow jumper up and in. It's the largest lead of the game for the Tigers. They are up by 8. 32-24 with 2 minutes to go in the first half.
Johnson has by far been the best guard on the floor. She is confident and feeling it.
And Suntok barrels her way into Poa, trying to set a screen. Offensive foul. It is heading back to LSU, and Corey Close is giving the officials an earful.
She's livid. She's calling for a flop. It looked... We're seeing the replay. I think a little bit of a mixture of both. Suntok maybe extended the arms a little bit, but again, LSU sold it pretty well.
And now a foul against LSU. Morrow tried to create space for Poa. That's going to be number 2 on her. And the team's 4th. So the fouls once again picking up just like they did in quarter number 1. Suntok takes a seat for UCLA. Cameron Brown in for her. It's a game of musical chairs on both ends. Del Rosario in for LSU. Morrow takes a seat. So the 5 in for the Bruins with Brown about to inbound from the near right sideline. Jones, Rice, Betts, and Jaquez. LSU on defense. Poa, Del Rosario, Johnson, Reese, and Williams. UCLA basketball down by 8. Rice jabs with her right. Dribbles to her right, stops right side of lane, out to Jaquez, off a pump, 15 on the shot clock, drives towards the left side of lane, triple team, out to Rice, right wing wide open 3, skims the right side of the rim, loose ball tapped around, Brown comes down with it, misses on the bunny from the right post, rebounded by Reese. UCLA cannot buy a bucket in this game, regardless of the angle.
They're 1 of 15 from 3.
And they're only shooting 29% from the field overall. Williams, top of the key for LSU. The shimmy move, the left elbow jumper, the smooth touch, the freshman delivering on the big stage. It's a 10-point LSU lead. The defending champs mean business. 34-24 with under a minute to go in the first half. Betts hands off to Jaquez. Straightaway hesitation. Now puts up the 3. Misses. Short. 1 of 16 from long range.
LSU continues to pack things in defensively in the paint, just daring UCLA to beat them from the outside.
Reese goes reverse left to right. Completely misses. The ball went straight up, came back down. Betts recovers, outlet to Rice, and now UCLA will slow things down. There's about a 1-second differential between game clock and shot clock. 17 seconds and counting. Rice dribbles the ball with her left hand. High near the sideline. Johnson gives her some breathing room. 9 on the shot clock. Rice comes around a bet screen left to right. Stops on the elbow, out to Jones. Left wing three with 3 seconds and nails it. London Jones with a much-needed bucket. Johnson, the three-quarter length prayer, bounces and falls for an air ball. 34-27. LSU leading UCLA here at the break. We are at MVP Arena as you are listening to the NCAA Women's Regional Semifinal presented by Intuit TurboTax. Along with Kim Adams, I'm Lance Meadow here on Westwood One. So only the second made three, Kim, in the first half, thanks to London Jones. It actually is quite remarkable that the Bruins are only down by 7 given the foul trouble, the inability to shoot from long range, and their inability to really slow down LSU attacking the rim.
Yeah, LSU has just dictated things on that end of the floor in terms of UCLA never really being able to feel comfortable on the offensive end. They haven't been able to get Betts involved much because LSU's really packing things in, and just 2 of 17 from 3. So the perimeter shooting going to have to improve if the Bruins want to try to get to the Elite Eight.
And spoil the run for the defending national champs. LSU 34, UCLA 27 at the break. When we return, we'll rejoin JB Long in our studios for the Wendy's Halftime Report from the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network. This is the Women's Basketball Tournament.
Experience the excitement of the men's and women's NCAA basketball tournaments on Sirius XM and the all-new Sirius XM app.
The 1 seed to the brink and holds on.
Search March Madness to hear Westwood One's coverage of all the games.
Holy smokes, what a play!
Plus pre- and post-game shows and get analysis on basketball and beyond with Coach K. Get radio channels for your games at SiriusXM.com/sports or search March Madness on the all-new Sirius XM app. The Women's NCAA Tournament is on Sirius XM.
It is going to be fun. It is going to be interesting.
For the best guests,
Caitlin Clark.
I feel like we're playing really good basketball right now.
And coverage of March Madness. Tune in to Sirius XM Big Ten Radio from the biggest stars.
Holmes, left-handed layup. She's got another 30-piece.
To the top teams. We've got you covered through the National Championship in Cleveland. It's all on Sirius XM Big Ten Radio, Channel 372, and the all-new Sirius XM app.
Hey, college football fans, this is Jacob Hester. All season long, we've followed the stars of tomorrow on College Sports Radio. And now we'll help you get ready for their next step, the 2024 NFL Draft. Every Thursday, check out a new episode of Draft Central on the SiriusXM app when Rhett Lewis interviews the top draft prospects as they work through the Senior Bowl, Combine, and ultimately wait to hear their name called in Detroit this April. Our team of experts on College Sports Radio gets you closer to the NFL Draft on SiriusXM Channel 84 and the SiriusXM app.
The NBA playoffs are right around the corner, and you can hear the best matchups and wall-to-wall coverage on NBA Radio Channel 86.
Driving through the rim, got there, lays it up and in!
We're getting you ready for the postseason with our experts all day, every day.
This is what playoff basketball is, man. This ain't about pretty stuff.
Defensively, they have 0 weaknesses.
The NBA postseason starts April 16th, and your home for all the action is NBA Radio Channel 86 in the car and on the all-new SiriusXM app.
Welcome to the Wendy's NCAA Tournament Halftime Report. Get a Dave's single for just $1 and a Dave's double for just $2 with the offers in the Wendy's app. Wendy's, the official hamburger of March Madness. Limited time offer at participating U.S. Wendy's. Redeem in Wendy's app. Account registration required. See offer in Wendy's app for details. Once again, here's your host, J.B. Long.
LSU leading UCLA 34-27 at the break and holding the Bruins to 31% shooting. UCLA a dismal 2 for 17 from distance, while Tigers guard Flau'jae Johnson with 13 points to lead all scores. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network, your home for the national championships.
Yo, it's Jacob Hester from Off Campus on College Sports Radio. For full breakdowns of this game and more, tune in weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. Eastern on Channel 84 or anytime on the SiriusXM app.
Winner of this LSU-UCLA contest is in line to face Caitlin Clark in top-seeded Iowa, but standing in their way, the Colorado Buffaloes, a 5 seed. J.R. Payne's Buffs had to go to Manhattan, Kansas, and battle their way through the first weekend, knocking out Drake and the host, Kansas State. That sets up a Sweet 16 rematch. You might recall Iowa beat CU by 10, 87-77, last year in Seattle. Clark scored 31 points in that regional semifinal, and Colorado head coach J.R. Payne discussed all those dynamics in this preview with R.K. Adams.
Coach, this is the second year in a row now your team has emerged from a road host site to the Sweet 16. What impressed you about what your team showed in the opening weekend to get to this point?
Thank you. Yeah, someone told me that we're the only team that's done that the last couple of years. So I think it speaks to the resiliency of our group. I thought last weekend we were incredibly focused, same kind of lighthearted, jovial group, but also very, very focused on game plan, execution, even learning K-State on a really short notice. Our team was really locked in.
And with the way the scheduling and the bracket has worked out, you are now facing Iowa in the Sweet 16 for the second year in a row. What is exciting about that opportunity to have another crack at them with a lot of the same players back and now another year of experience?
Yeah, it's really rare that you get to do that. You get to do it in conference play, but not on this stage with the same team. And I think we've all wished that we could play that game again, after the last year's loss. And so to have the opportunity to play them again, I think is great, not just for the program, but for individual players that feel like they could have played, better or wanted another chance. And so I think it's pretty cool that it lined up this way.
And obviously there's a lot of talk about 22 on Iowa. Caitlin Clark, what is your approach defensively and how you want to attack that matchup?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is recognizing that you're not going to shut her down. The goal is not to stop her. The goal is to make sure that her shots are contested, that we are doing our best to guard collectively. It's not just one person's responsibility to try to guard, but, you switch different people onto her at different times and just have a short memory. We showed logo shots where she made them, and we said, this is fine. This is going to happen. So just get the ball out and go play offense, So, just being excited for that chance.
And just considering your team taking away whoever the opponent may be, what do you hope to see from your group from this point on of the tournament?
Yeah, great execution, I think, on both sides of the floor is really, really important, always, but certainly at this time of the year. And just great communication, great togetherness, great. We want to see them smile. We say smile, play with joy, celebrate each other, and all good things happen.
Coach Payne with Kim Adams. If CU is still smiling, in about 3 hours, they'll be in the Sweet 16. As for Clark, she said yesterday that playing in the Olympics is a dream. If her Hawkeyes don't make the Final Four, she'll go to USA basketball training camp. But her main focus is finding a way to beat Colorado, and she described how she locks in for a moment like this.
Yeah, I would say for myself, the moment that I take everything in is I just take a deep breath before the national anthem and kind of soak in the environment and the crowd, and then you get competitive for 40 minutes and enjoy that. And then when I walk off the court, I try to take as much time as possible to sign as many autographs and whatever, and kind of soak in the environment and enjoy that because you don't really know how many games you have left at this point.
College basketball's all-time leading scorer, Caitlin Clark. She and the Iowa Hawkeyes face Colorado coming up. Our halftime score in Game 1 in Albany, 34-27, LSU on top of UCLA. Next, we'll preview Portland 3. You're listening to Women's Basketball Tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
This March, Wendy's has some amazing deals on their hamburgers made with fresh, never frozen beef.
Like a juicy Dave's single for $1 and a fresh $2 Dave's double with in-app offer.
It's such a good deal, we wrote a little ditty about it. Get it for $1. Dave's single, order in the app. Dave's single, get it for $1. Choose wisely, choose Wendy's, official hamburger March Madness.
Limited time offer, participating U.S. Wendy's. See offer details and redeem at Wendy's app. Account registration required. Fresh beef available in the contiguous U.S. and Alaska.
Welcome back to the NCAA Women's Tournament on Westwood One. From the Progressive Insurance Studios, I'm J.B. Long. Looking for a career path with flexibility, great pay, and benefits? Go to progressive.com/careers and apply online today. Bundle today at progressive.com. Coming up later, Portland 3, the regional. The 5 seed is Baylor, the 1 is USC. The last time the Trojans were in the Sweet 16, 1994. Their star, Juju Watkins, wasn't even born yet. And then the nightcap. The 3 is UConn, the 7 is Duke. The only true big upset of the second round was Duke bouncing the 2 seed Ohio State in Columbus. How about UConn, cast as a dark horse? That's a little bit of a different story, despite having Paige Beckers, who could be the best talent in the tournament. This has been the Wendy's NCAA Tournament Halftime Report. Get a Dave's single for just $1 and a Dave's double for just $2 with the offers in the Wendy's app. Wendy's, the official hamburger of March Madness. Limited time offer at participating U.S. Wendy's. Redeem in Wendy's app. Account registration required. See offer in Wendy's app for details. Second half of LSU. UCLA is next. The Tigers leading the Bruins 34-27. From the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network, this is the women's basketball tournament.
Throughout March, Coach K breaks down the NCAA tournament on Sirius XM.
To me, the hardest game a coach has to win is the Elite Eight.
Hear men's college basketball's winningest coach share his unique perspective.
The most pressure that a coach has, he not only sees the promised land, he knows the bridge that you have to go over.
It's Basketball and Beyond with Coach K. Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 5 Eastern on College Sports Radio, Channel 84 in the car, and the all-new Sirius XM app.
It's March, and that means the college basketball season is reaching its apex.
Hammers it down!
Tune in to ACC Today, weekdays from 8 to 11 a.m. Eastern for reactions and analysis of ACC men's basketball teams in the NCAA tournament. We'll have expert breakdowns from Dallin Cuff.
They are shooting the heck out of the ball.
John Henson.
They're going to be a team to be reckoned with.
Wes Durham.
40 minutes to beat somebody one time.
Plus, we'll hear from players and coaches as they advance through the madness. SiriusXM ACC Radio and streaming on the new and improved SiriusXM app.
Experience the excitement of the men's and women's NCAA basketball tournaments on Sirius XM and the all-new Sirius XM app.
The 1 seed to the brink and holds on.
Search March Madness to hear Westwood One's coverage of all the games.
Holy smokes, what a play!
Plus pre- and post-game shows and get analysis on Basketball and Beyond with Coach K. Get radio channels for your games at SiriusXM.com/sports or search March Madness on the all-new Sirius XM app.
They are among the greatest to ever play their sports.
Caitlin Clark is the all-time scoring leader.
They are legends and icons.
Larry Bird hit the shot with 2 seconds left. I don't know how he did it.
And you can hear them right now on the all-new Sirius XM app.
We are here with Iowa superstar Caitlin Clark.
I'm so focused on winning, it's never anything I ever take for granted.
Here comes Larry Bird, the Hall of Famer, and he just won Legend of the Year.
Legend of the Year, isn't that something?
For access to the game's greats, rely on the leader in sports audio, Sirius XM and the Sirius XM app.
Westwood One presents Great Moments in Tournament History.
After a surprising loss in the Elite Eight in 2011, Brittany Griner and the Baylor Lady Bears were on a mission in 2012 to cut down the Nets in Denver at the Final Four. Baylor entered the tournament as the top seed, going 34-0 in the regular season. They steamrolled through their 5 opponents to get to the final, and in the championship game against Notre Dame, Griner's 26 points, 13 rebounds, and 5 blocks paved the way to history.
3, 2, 1, zeros on the clock, and there it is! Baylor has won the Women's College Basketball National Championship. Picture perfect. For the first time ever, a team has gone 40-0. The Lady Bears have reached the highest peak of women's college basketball in the Rocky Mountains.
The second title for Coach Kim Mulkey and the Baylor women's program, and another great moment in tournament history. I'm Kevin Kugler.
Lance Meadow, Kim Adams back here with you at the break in Albany, New York, MVP Arena, as UCLA trails LSU 34-27. The Bruins, the number 2 seed, the Tigers, the defending champs, and the 3rd-seeded team in this region. Let's check the halftime stats, sponsored by Pure Silk Shave Cream. From the makers of Barbasol, Pure Silk's rich and luxurious shave cream will leave your legs looking and feeling like pure silk. As far as the team shooting goes, LSU 43%, UCLA just 31%. The Bruins 2 of 17 from downtown. Jones hit one, Jaquez hit the other. UCLA did win the battle on the glass overall 23-20, but they coughed the ball up 10 times, and LSU scored 13 points off of those issues. 9 points for Gabriela Jaquez. On LSU side, Flau'jae Johnson leading the way with 13, also has 4 rebounds. She was 4 of 6 from the field and hit both of her 3-pointers. And when you have the point guard, Kim, leading the way for LSU, and you're not even talking about Reese as well as Morrow, it just goes to show you what UCLA is going to go up against in the second half to try to get back in this game.
Yeah, Flau'jae Johnson has been the best guard on the floor, and there's a lot of talented guards in this matchup, but I think she's really impacted LSU on the defensive end as well. She's been guarding Kiki Rice, has given her trouble. And with that front line pressure, it's really forced UCLA to have a hard time getting into a rhythm.
It's time for Kim's Keys to the Second Half, sponsored by NetSuite. Now through April 15th, NetSuite is offering a one-of-a-kind flexible financing program. Head to netsuite.com/hoops right now. That's netsuite.com/hoops. So, Kim, your keys to the second half.
Well, let's start with UCLA. If they look to mount a comeback, I mean, it's not rocket science here. The outside shooting needs to improve, but there's some layers to this. That's going to come from, protecting the ball better. They had 10 turnovers. UCLA ran that back for 13 points off, and there just hasn't been enough ball movement. Lauren Betts is a big part of this. She doesn't necessarily need to be scoring, but too many possessions were just stagnant with Lauren Betts sitting on the block, accepting a double team. So UCLA as a team, they have to move her around a little bit more, and there has to be more off-ball movement to force LSU to have to move around. Player I'm looking at to get going for UCLA, Charisma Osborne, 0 points. She averages 14 points per game. She did have the foul trouble, so she only played half of the first half, 10 minutes. But can they get their leader going? For LSU, I mean, they've got to be pretty happy with how the first half went. I'd say the biggest thing for them is to stay aggressive in their attacks. They're not much of a three-point shooting team. They're just 2 of 4. But I think UCLA has had a tough time defending both Angel Reese and Anissa Morrow when they're in the game together. And then they've also had a tough time guarding the guard attack, specifically Flau'jae Johnson.
It's time to find out which team will get the job done. The start of the second half, sponsored by Indeed.com. Need to hire quality candidates fast? You need Indeed. Indeed's video interview tool makes it easy and effortless to meet with candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit. LSU basketball to start the third quarter. Johnson, Williams, Van Lith, Reese, and Morrow. The 5 in. UCLA on defense. Jones, Rice, Betts, Dugalich, and Osborne. LSU up by 7, 34-27, as Williams' right elbow jumper off the left side of the rim, but Johnson tracks it down, and 17 on the shot clock still here for the Tigers. Johnson dribbles left to right, gives it up to Van Lith. She's beyond the arc, right side. Working now on the elbow. Resets between the circles. Pull up left elbow jumper. Short off the left side of the rim, rebounded by Betts, outlet to Rice. UCLA with its first possession here in the second half, as Jones tried to lob it inside the Betts. It was easily intercepted by Reese.
That's just a silly turnover. You just regrouped at halftime. Turnovers were probably a huge topic of conversation. That didn't even have a chance of getting into Betts.
So that is turnover number 11 on the game for the Bruins. Williams off the left elbow, gives it up to Johnson, left corner. Crossover dribble, gets space off Osborne. Jumper short from the baseline, rebounded by Dugalich. Outlet goes to Osborne, and then Johnson takes it right away from her. So the Tigers stay in the front court. Johnson crossover dribble. Spinning around Osborne. Sealed off. Cross-court feed to Van Lith. Pulls up. Straightaway jumper and floats it in. Van Lith salvaging the possession. And it's a 9-point lead. 36-27 LSU.
And it was Flau'jae Johnson again on the steal. She's been everywhere in this game.
Van Lith with her first made field goal of the day. Betts down low to the cutting Dugalich, wide open off the left post, lays it in. 36-29 LSU.
Off-ball movement out of a double team. A quick move to the block from Dugalich.
Van Lith loses the ball in the lane, picked up by Rice. It's a 3-on-nobody break. Rice down the left side of the lane, lays it in with the right hand. 36-31. No one ran back on D for the Tigers, and it's a 5-point game here in the third quarter.
I don't know if I've ever seen that. Literally one purple jersey crossed half court. 4 players just didn't even attempt to get back. If I'm UCLA, I'm saying let's get out and run every possession. They don't want to run.
The Tigers apparently buy into a spectator sport philosophy here on the basketball court. Reese denied by Dugalich. Grabs the loose ball, now defended by Betts. Awkward scoop shot, no good, but she was fouled. And Reese is going to head to the free throw line. And she has not attempted one from the charity stripe thus far today. A reminder that Westwood One Sports is also your exclusive home for complete NCAA men's tournament action. From now through the Final Four in Phoenix, you can listen to all the action on many of these same stations online at westwoodonesports.com or via the free Varsity Network app on your mobile device. Second foul on Betts. Reese comes in at 73% on the season, and the first attempt rolls around the rim and in. Reese now with 7 points on the day. That complements her 7 rebounds as she tries to move closer to a double-double. Give her now 8 points and 7 boards, and it's 38-31 LSU. Now the Tigers showing full court press, just Poa, and now she'll drop back with Rice getting the inbounds from Jaquez. Rice with 8 points, leading the charge here on offense. Gets the handoff from Betts, straightaway 3, short. Long rebound to Poa, and LSU now the charge back the other way. Off a deflection, Williams has it, left wing, she's beyond the arc. Dribbles around a Reese screen, left to right. Pull up left elbow jumper with Betts in her face, short. Ball bounces right back to Bates, outlet to Jaquez. Jaquez enters the front court, working now, right wing beyond the arc. Betts calling for the ball, gets the entry pass, loses it. Jaquez had it, she loses it now to Williams, and LSU off the steal. Williams cross-court feed to Johnson, right side of the lane, jumper rattles in and out, rebounded by Dugalich, outlet to Jones. Back and forth we go in Albany in a 7-point game. Jones, straightaway 3, rattles around the rim and out. Dugalich the putback off the mark, grabs another miss. Loose ball, Jaquez picks it up. UCLA in possession with 14 on the shot clock, and Reese reaches in on Jones, and everybody gets a breather.
And that's where UCLA needs to capitalize. It was a quick shot from London Jones, a missed 3, not the smartest, but Dugalich does get the rebound. Once again, LSU not sprinting back. You have to convert that second chance right at the rim.
That was the second on Reese. And the team's first here in the third quarter. Off the inbounds, Jaquez to Jones, right corner. Her 3 off the left side of the rim. Tracks down or miss. Dumps it off to Betts. Misses on the right-handed lay-in, but was fouled by Reese from behind. And that is going to be the third on Angel Reese.
And that's a big moment, but it appears that Kim Mulkey is not going to send a sub to the table. He's going to let Angel Reese play this out. We just saw a replay, a clear come down from Reese right on the shoulder of Lauren Betts, and maybe now a sub is going to come to the table for Reese.
Betts 62% of the season, hits the first. The women's Final Four heads to Cleveland next weekend. You could be there to experience the elite competition and pinnacle of women's basketball. Limited tickets are still available at ncaa.com/WBB tickets. Betts misses the second. She makes 1 of 2. 38-32, LSU leads UCLA with 6:27 to go in the third quarter of this Sweet 16 matchup. The defending champs in possession. Morrow spins in the lane, loses the ball. It's a hot potato. Morrow gets it back, wins the battle with Rice. Out to Williams off the pump. Jump feed down low to Johnson. Double clutch floater. Too hard off the glass, but she was fouled, and Johnson will now earn a trip to the line for 2. They're going to get Rice with the foul. That is going to be number 3 on her. And a great feed by Williams to give up the jump shot there, Kim.
Yeah, LSU just continues to attack. Look for the extra pass. Stay aggressive, even if the first or second action doesn't come to fruition.
And Johnson is now 4 of 5 from the line today. She's got 14 points and 5 rebounds. As LSU is +5 in made free throws, and you can now make it +6. 40-32. LSU leads UCLA with just over 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. The Bruins are just 2 of 20 from beyond the arc. They're shooting 31% from the field, and it's going to increase thanks to London Jones with a contested 3 from the left wing. 40-35. We got a 5-point game with 5:50 to go in the third.
Jones is their best three-point shooter. They've been trying to get her looks. Finally gets one to drop. They're 2 of 9 from Jones.
Morrow, turnaround jumper. Right side of the lane, gets it to go with Rice in the vicinity. And just as UCLA cuts into the deficit, LSU pads it back to 7, 42-35. Betts has it. Right elbow free throw jumper. Nothing but net. And now all of a sudden, both offenses picking up in a 42-37 game, and then a foul as LSU was trying to inbounds the basketball with Johnson and Poa, as UCLA had Osborne trying to reach in. And that is never good news when your backcourt continues to pile up personals. That's number 3 on Osborne. Along with Kim Adams, I'm Lance Meadow here on Westwood One. You're listening to the NCAA Women's Regional Semifinal presented by Intuit TurboTax.
You never want to pick up a foul 94 feet away from the basket. Prism Osborne should have been a little smarter on that.
Morrow off the right post, defended by Suntok, and still makes it count with Suntok right up in her grill. Morrow's got the smooth touch from mid-range, and it's a 44-37 game. She's in double figures with 10. Jones off the handoff, right wing three, off the back iron. Suntok had the rebound, loses it. Last touch by LSU. It will stay with the Bruins, and with that, we're going to have a timeout on the floor. LSU 44, UCLA 37 with 4:53 to go in quarter number 3. You are listening to the Women's Basketball Tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
With Marriott Bonvoy, take your game day rituals on the road. No matter how you show your team spirit, you can find a stay for your style with over 30 hotel brands and thousands of global destinations. Marriott Bonvoy has a brand for every kind of fan. Marriott Bonvoy, official hotel partner of the NCAA. Discover more at marriottbonvoy.com/NCAA.
What companies deserve your hard-earned dollar? Which would you want to work for? How can you know if they share your values? Just ask us. Just Capital is a nonprofit that tracks who really means business in supporting workers, customers, communities, the environment, and shareholders. We measure progress, track success, and help them be better. When you see the Just Capital seal, you know what's real, because just business is better business. Visit justcapital.com to learn who makes your dollar count.
It's NCAA championship time. Fans of the hustle? Present. Fans of the heart? Present. Fans of the flash, grit, and grind? Present. The best fans in the lands are bringing everything they got for their team. Be there when your squad hoists the ultimate trophy overhead. The NCAA championships. Attendance is encouraged. Passion is mandatory. Buy your seats today at ncaa.com/tickets. Class dismissed.
Welcome back to our Granger courtside seats at MVP Arena. Along with Kim Adams, I'm Lance Meadow. Winning teams know the value of a good sixth man. Count on Granger when your business needs a boost off the bench. Call or click Granger.com for supplies and solutions for every industry. LSU leading UCLA 44-37, 4:53 to go in the third quarter. And a big disparity in terms of shooting percentage. LSU at 41%, UCLA 33%. They're 3 of 22 from beyond the arc. That is just under 14%. And it's not pretty by any means, Kim, no matter how you want to spin it. But with that being said, if you're Corey Close, the Bruins head coach, you're saying to your team, we are only down by 7, despite the fact that we have struggled immensely from the field.
Absolutely. I mean, they have managed to keep this game at arm's length. What needs to happen is when they do cut it down to 3-4 points, they need to really lock in and get multiple stops in a row, stay disciplined in their own shot selection, because anytime they've been able to cut into it, it seems that LSU has an answer. As of late, that answer has been Anissa Morrow, the DePaul transfer, playing in her first ever NCAA tournament. Such a tricky and tough matchup at the 4 spot because UCLA doesn't really have the speed to match her on that end.
Stay tuned for part 2 of our women's regional semifinal doubleheader here on Westwood One. As soon as this game ends, we'll have top-ranked Iowa against number 5 seed Colorado. If it's the NCAA women's tournament, it's on Westwood One. Out of the timeout, UCLA basketball underneath its own bucket, 20 on the shot clock. Osborne from the right side gives it up in the corner to Jones on the wing. Top of the key, Cameron Brown to just check back in. Hands off to Osborne straight away to Jones right wing. Pulls up right side lane. Her shot blocked by Del Rosario. Betts tried to clean it up. Could not get it to go as Williams was in her range to knock the ball loose. Johnson, the runner, down the left side of the lane. Short. But this is going to go the opposite way. They're going to say Johnson used the left hand for leverage to push off. Offensive foul. That is going to be her second.
And back to the other end of the floor, Lance, UCLA needs to take good shots. I thought that Charisma Osborne, who averages 14 a game, she passed up an open 15-footer, instead passes it into traffic. They got to take good shots.
And Osborne, one of their best two-way players, has been kept in check today due to foul trouble. Jaquez right wing, dumps it down low to Betts. Betts kicks it back out to Jaquez. 13 on the shot clock. They're going to get a travel on Jaquez. Turnover number 14, and LSU has scored 15 points off of these issues.
UCLA continues to feel the pressure of this LSU defense. They are in your body. They are in passing lanes. UCLA has never felt comfortable offensively in this game.
Morrow got the feed at the free throw line from Poa, and another foul, an offensive foul against the Tigers. It's going to go against Del Rosario, and that will give it back to the Bruins.
Kim Mulkey in her shimmering suit. Not happy about these last couple of calls.
I don't know how the officials have a conversation with her, Kim, and not get distracted based on the glare and the glow off the suit. Right now, UCLA's offense trying to not be distracted. Shooting just 32% from the field. They got 12 on the shot clock. Jaquez left wing. Down low to Betchy's triple team to the cutting Cameron Brown. Down the right side of the lane, scoops it through. A much-needed bucket, and it's a 44-39 game in favor of LSU.
That's why Betts needs to continue getting touches, and you have to move without the ball like Brown did there.
Morrow spinning on Cameron Brown, and it's going to be an offensive foul again on the Tigers. Morrow pushed off as she spun from right to left.
And that one was a no-brainer. Maybe some of the other ones questionable, but Morrow can be a bit predictable. She loves to go to that spin move. Cameron Brown, the fifth-year Bruin, knows her personnel, stands her ground, and absorbs that foul, the third on Anissa Morrow.
That is the team's fifth here in the third quarter. The LSU crowd did not like that. Boos loud and clear. UCLA basketball down by 5. Betts gets the entry feed. Down low to the cutting Brown. Out to Osborne right wing. Top of the key to Jones. Straightaway 3. Ring it up. She holds one hand up and stares at the rim. It's a 2-point game. LSU 44, UCLA 42. The Bruins have a sign of life.
Again, a touch into Betts and movement, extra passes out of the double team.
And then Jones called for a foul, reaching in on Poa. That's going to be number 2 on Jones and the team's 4th.
I am looking at a replay of that last UCLA possessions. Betts draws a triple team, passes across the lane, an extra pass or two around to their best three-point shooter. London Jones knocks down her third triple, and it is a one-possession game.
Jones has 11. She came in with 83 threes. That's a new single-season school record. She now has 86. Van Lith with the ball for LSU. Bounce pass to Williams. Off the left elbow. Slices down the lane. Switches hands with the right. 2 hard off the glass. Betts had it. Loses it. Cameron Brown chases it down. Outlet up ahead to Osborne. 2-on-1 break. Osborne to the right corner to Jones. Her 3. Up and in. Their first lead since 18-17 with 9:09 to go in the second quarter. The Bruins are back in business. 45-44 over the defending champs, and it's London Bridges doing the heavy lifting. As Osborne knocks the ball out of play, and it will stay with LSU. Momentum has swung immensely here.
And on that go-ahead bucket, multiple times this half, UCLA has made LSU pay for not getting back in transition defense. They simply don't want to run.
Van Lith inbounds to Johnson. Jabs right. Jabs again with her right. Dribbles, spins towards the post, loses the ball, 9 on the shot clock. Steps back on the three-point line. Tightly guarded by Jaquez. 5 on the shot clock. Gives her a Euro step and scoops it in with the right. Oh, that was down and dirty. Flage Johnson, she's got 17, and it's 46-45 LSU. Osborne in the lane. Bounce pass top of the key to Jaquez. To Osborne, her right wing 3. Up and in and drills it. Charisma. It's got a pretty game. And it's 48-46 UCLA with 1:49 to go in the third.
That basket finally starting to open up for UCLA, and that was one of the first times in a while Charisma Osborne didn't hesitate on her shot.
The Bruins have actually hit 3 straight threes. They may want to throw a parade. Reese, short jumper right side of lane, short, rebounded by Brown, outlet to Osborne. The tables have turned here in Albany, New York. Jaquez down the right baseline. Kicks it to Jones, left corner. She drives baseline left to right. Out to Osborne on the wing. Back in the corner to Jones. Wide open 3 off the left side of the rim. Rebounded by Reese. Outlet to Van Lith.
LSU got lucky again. Completely losing personnel, not willing to close out.
UCLA up by 2, 48-46. And a whistle away from the basketball as Van Lith was dribbling up on the left wing, and it has been very busy down low on the post all throughout the game. And they're going to get the foul on Cameron Brown. That is going to be her first. So LSU has gone ice cold from three-point range. They have not made a three since 5:39 to go in the first quarter. And it will be Morrow heading to the line, as that was the 15th foul against UCLA. You can hear every remaining moment of the NCAA men's and women's tournament on Alexa. Just ask your device to open Westwood One Sports, and you'll be able to listen to all the action wherever you are. That's open Westwood One Sports to listen on Alexa. Morrow's first attempt, no good, off the back iron. That was her first attempt this afternoon. She comes in at 82% on the season. And now Flage Johnson is going to head to the sideline. Looks like she has to tape up her finger. And then we'll walk back to the line where Morrow is awaiting her second in a 2-point game in favor of UCLA. There's a Bruins team that trailed by as many as 10 and is led by as many as 3. Morrow takes her time, a few dribbles, bends her knees, and it is off the right side of the rim. She misses both. 82% on the season. 2-point lead still for UCLA, 48-46, under a minute to go in the third of this Sweet 16 matchup. And it has lived up to all expectations and then some. Osborne off the handoff, the right wing three. Rattles off the left side of the rim. Reese the rebound. That gives her 10 boards to go along with 8 points. So LSU slowing things down. About a 20-second differential between shot clock and game clock. Johnson stops, top of the key, swings it left wing to Williams. Not a lot of movement without the ball. Reese comes up, sets a screen. Williams dribbles around it, right to left. Hesitates off the post, blocked by Betts, out of play. They're going to say it was last touch by Williams. It's going back to UCLA. Kim, they're getting it done on both ends now.
Very well defended by UCLA. 2 players going with the ball handler. Lauren Betts at 6'7", using her size well, not bringing the hands down to foul. And UCLA, after a really tough first half, has a chance here to build upon their 2-point lead. Just 27 seconds left. They can hold for the final shot of the third quarter.
And remember, Kim, this is not uncharted territory. You were in Los Angeles last week. They trailed Creighton by double figures and won that game.
Absolutely. They stay solid. They have veteran groups. Charisma Osborne has come alive, the point guard.
Osborne, right baseline, tried to lob it to Betts, intercepted by Reese. And then contact down low as Reese fell to the ground. It's going to go against Betts. And that is going to be number 3 on her, and it's the team 6th.
And that's where the guards have to be smarter. You really put Betts in a tough position to try to make that catch with about 3 purple jerseys around her, and then she picks up a foul in addition. Just a poor pass from Charisma Osborne.
That's now the 3rd different UCLA player with 3 personals. PGA Junior League brings friends, families, and communities together through golf. Find your team and sign up today at PGAJuniorLeague.com. Reese to the line. She is 2 for 2 today. 73% on the season. The first one is up and in. So Reese now with 9 points and 10 rebounds. She makes this next one, she'll only have recorded her 26th double-double of the season. And she does so. So that is now 15 straight games with a double-double for Angel Reese. As she is at 10 and 10, she'll head to the bench. Morrow back in. We are tied at 48 with 15.3 to go in the third quarter. Poa applying the pressure on Osborne. Osborne dribbles up the far left sideline. 9 seconds and counting. Working on the wing, crossover dribble. Down the lane, underneath the bucket, 5 seconds and counting to Rice. Up ahead to Dugalich. Off the pump, puts up the 3. No good off the left side of the rim. And that is going to do it. 3 quarters in the books with 10 minutes to go in a game that is tied at 48 between the defending national champs, LSU, and the second-seeded UCLA Bruins. LSU got cold, Kim, and UCLA turned it up a notch here in the third.
Yeah, as you mentioned, I spent time with UCLA last weekend. Corey Close, huge on response from her team, and we saw quite a response from the Bruins there in the third quarter, a 21-14 third quarter in favor of UCLA. We are tied heading to the fourth quarter.
A great one here in Albany, New York, with 3 quarters in the books from the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network. This is the Women's Basketball Tournament.
Throughout March, Coach K breaks down the NCAA tournament on Sirius XM.
To me, the hardest game a coach has to win is the Elite Eight.
Hear men's college basketball's winningest coach share his unique perspective.
The most pressure that a coach has, he not only sees the promised land, he knows the bridge that you have to go over.
It's Basketball and Beyond with Coach K. Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 5 Eastern on College Sports Radio, Channel 84 in the car, and the all-new Sirius XM app.
Baseball is back, and you can hear every MLB game on Sirius XM.
This team never stops.
Hear your hometown announcers on the all-new Sirius XM app.
They celebrate at home plate.
And talk baseball every day with our team of former players and executives on MLB Network Radio, Channel 89.
There's just something about opening day of the Major League Baseball season.
Get closer to the action on Sirius XM and the all-new Sirius XM app.
Your home for analysis and reaction of ACC teams in the NCAA Women's Basketball Tournament is ACC Today.
Knocks it down and pumps her fist.
Join us weekdays from 8 to 11 a.m. Eastern on SiriusXM ACC Radio. We'll be breaking down the action with ACC basketball experts like Dallin Cup.
That team is going to be a tough out.
John Henson. Everybody's got a chance. Plus, we'll be talking to players and coaches as they advance through March. Weekdays from 8 to 11 a.m. Eastern on ACC Radio, Channel 371.
That is huge.
Experience the excitement of the men's and women's NCAA basketball tournaments on Sirius XM and the all-new Sirius XM app.
The 1 seed to the brink and holds on.
Search March Madness to hear Westwood One's coverage of all the games.
Holy smokes, what a play!
Plus pre- and post-game shows and get analysis on Basketball and Beyond with Coach K. Get radio channels for your games at SiriusXM.com/sports or search March Madness on the all-new Sirius XM app.
From now through the national championship game, you can hear the live stream of the NCAA Women's Tournament on WestwoodOneSports.com. Sponsored by Wendy's. Get a Dave's single for just $1 and a Dave's double for just $2 with the offers in the Wendy's app. Wendy's, the official hamburger of March Madness. Limited time offer at participating U.S. Wendy's. Redeem in Wendy's app. Account registration required. See offer in Wendy's app for details. Lance Meadow, Kim Adams with you here in Albany, New York. MVP Arena, the site of the Sweet 16 matchup between third-seeded LSU, number 2 seed UCLA, tied at 48, entering the fourth. So, Kim, you look at the numbers. The Bruins are +9 in shots taken, +24 in threes put up, +9 on the rebounding front, +8 in points in the paint, +6 in fast break points. And it has gotten them back in the contest. Earlier, they had advantages, but they weren't then translating that to points.
Yeah, well, the three-point shot has finally started to drop a little bit. UCLA made just 2 threes in the first half. They made 4 there in the third quarter. But, Lance, it's what we came into the second half talking about. Those threes came off of getting the ball into Betts and moving the ball out of double and triple teams. They finally have really forced LSU to have to scramble and recover, and they're playing with some more pace. I think that's a big key here for UCLA in the fourth quarter, because we've seen, to this point, LSU isn't willing to have 5 players sprint back on defense. So UCLA, an athletic, a quick team, if I'm Corey Close, I'm telling them push the ball, and a lot of that starts with securing the rebound so that you can get out and run.
And not allow LSU an opportunity at a second chance, especially with them struggling from the field in that third quarter. A reminder to join us again Monday night for the 2024 WBIT semifinals. Penn State against Villanova, Illinois colliding with Washington State. Dave Ryan and Pam Roker will have all the action. Doubleheader coverage from Indianapolis begins 2:15 p.m. Eastern on many of these same stations via the Varsity Network app or online at WestwoodOneSports.com. Start of the fourth quarter, and it will be UCLA basketball. Rice to inbound, near right side, opposite her bench. She's joined by Betts, Dugalich, Osborne, and London Jones, who has hit 4 threes in this game. She's the top scorer for the Bruins with 14. Rice gets the feed from Osborne, left wing, in front of her own bench. 22 on the shot clock. Drives baseline, goes reverse, up and in, off the glass, plus the foul. The team going wild to greet her on the court. She will have an opportunity to complete the three-point play as UCLA strikes again, up by 2, 50-48.
Up until that point, Kiki Rice had been relatively quiet in this game. She missed most of the third quarter with foul trouble, but she came back in with a vengeance. She's been averaging 22 points per game in the first 2 games of this tournament. and just a jab step, rip through to the left, up and under the rim, and one Kiki Rice.
So Kiki Rice has not attempted a free throw. She's 87% on the season. It rattles in. She's now 22 of 22 in the last 4+ games. That's the player you want in that spot. UCLA up by 3, 51-48, and the defending champs now in the trailing position. Van Lith dribbles out to the left wing. Bullet feed inside to Reese. Lets it fly around the rim and in, plus the foul. UCLA had a 3-point play. LSU now about to return the favor in a 1-point affair.
Really solid execution for both teams out of the timeout. UCLA punches first. LSU punches right back. Angel Reese comes off of a cross screen, curl, and one for Angel.
Reese, 4 of 4 from the line today, and that is her first miss. Short off the right side of the rim, rebounded by Betts. It stays 51-50 in favor of the Bruins. Rice down the right side of the lane, dribbles out of traffic underneath the bucket, gives it up to Osborne, left wing, top of the key to Dugalich. Entry pass down low to Betts on the left post and banks it in with the long extension and the left hand. She's got a double-double. And it's UCLA up by 3, 53-50.
And just the pace of pushing that is what allowed her to get open, because, again, LSU not really scrambling back to defend.
Betts with 10 points and 14 boards. Morrow, left elbow jumper around the rim and in. 53-52. UCLA holding on to a 1-point advantage with 8:59 to go in the fourth. Dugalich thinking about the 3 left wing. She's left alone, lobs it to Betts, left side lane. Down low to the cunning Dugalich. Lose the ball. Morrow takes it away. It's a 3-on-2 break. Morrow, she loses the ball. Osborne picks her pocket. Back the other way we go. 2-on-2. Osborne right wing slows things down. Doesn't have the numbers. That will now wisely reset between the circles with 20 on the shot clock.
Ball protection is vital for both of these teams. 2 careless turnovers back-to-back for both teams.
Osborne averages 14 a game. She only has 3 today on 1 of 4 shooting. Jones, left elbow, lose the ball, but Johnson reached in. They're going to get Flage Johnson with the personal. That is going to be her 3rd. As Iwala checks in for UCLA, Dugalich takes a seat. 20 on the shot clock for the Bruins. Jones will inbound underneath her own bucket. Right baseline, opposite her own bench. She's with Rice, Betts, Iwala, and Osborne. Jones hesitating. Tries to lob it. It was deflected by Van Lith. Osborne picks it up right corner. Up on the wing is Iwala. Top of the key, Rice. 14 on the shot clock. Rice working left side of the lane. Off the hesitation. Stops, pops. Can't get it to go, but drew the foul on Reese, and that is huge because that's her 4th. And in frustration, Reese gingerly walks back to the LSU bench before Kim Mulkey sends anybody else into the contest.
Well, in a weird series of events, I thought Rice was fouled before the shot by Flage Johnson. Clearly it was not called, but as a result of the miss, then Angel Reese picks up the foul on the shot, and it's her 4th.
Yeah, Johnson hooked Rice and had her hand in the area of her face, as Rice now heading to the line where she is 1 for 1, and you can make it 2 of 2. Download the official March Madness WBB app, and you can listen to every Westwood One women's broadcast for free. Just open the event schedule, select the game, and tap Listen Now. Get the official March Madness WBB app today as Rice hits both. So Angel Reese did go to the bench. Del Rosario replacing her. Off-balance floater by Morrow off the left side of the lane. Well off the mark, but fouled by Iwala. Iwala picking up her 1st, and that is going to be the team's 2nd. As UCLA leads LSU 55-52 with 8:12 to go in the 4th quarter of this Sweet 16 matchup. Morrow is 0 for 2 from the line today, even though she's 82% on the season. Iwala takes a seat for the Bruins. Cameron Brown in, and Morrow heading to the line to try to cut into a 3-point deficit for her team. And the first attempt is up and in, her 1st make of the day. Along with Kim Adams, I'm Lance Meadow here on Westwood One. You're listening to the NCAA Women's Regional Semifinal presented by Intuit TurboTax. 55-53 UCLA, make it 55-54. Morrow gets on the right path. She hits both. As we approach the 8-minute mark here at Albany. A 2-3 matchup with a right to go to Monday's regional final. Betts from the left post, floats it right wing to Rice, loses the ball and loses her footing. Williams picks it up. 3-on-2 break. Williams shuffles it across the lane to Van Lith. Blocked from behind by Brown. Williams cleans it up off the left post, banks it in, and LSU is back in front, 56-55, thanks to the SEC Freshman of the Year, the 9th lead change of this contest.
Defense to offense for LSU. UCLA has to protect the ball. They can run it back with ease.
Rice with Johnson on a right hip. Gives it up to Betts at the free throw line. Back out to Rice, left wing. Rice dancing with the ball, left side of the lane, has nowhere to go. Cross-court feed in the corner to Osborne. Her three around the rim and in. Charisma Osborne has struggled from the field all day, but a big bucket to give UCLA a 58-56 lead with 7:10 to go in the fourth. The Tigers now in possession. Van Lith, her wide open right wing three off the left side of the rim, rebounded by Brown, outlet to Osborne. Charisma Osborne has 6 points on 2 of 5 shooting, both of them threes. Tried to get it inside to Betts off her fingertips into the hands of Van Lith. Turnover number 18. Van Lith shuffles it over to Johnson. Touch feed to Williams. Down the baseline, switches hands, banks it in with the right. And Williams has now gone to work for the Tigers as she is in double figures with 10, and we are tied at 58 with a timeout on the floor with 6:41 to go in the fourth. We'll step aside. You're listening to the Women's Basketball Tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
You've probably already heard about how effective medications like Ozempic, Wegovy, or Zepbound are. But did you know that these revolutionary shots may be available to you online through the Row Body Program? Row provides access to these shots, and they also offer support throughout the process to help you reach your goals. Row's partner handles all of the insurance paperwork for you to help get medications like Ozempic covered. And if you're eligible for prescription medication, you'll have access to your provider on demand for any questions. Plus, one of the best parts of the Body Program is that you can sign up online from the comfort of your own home. So sign up today, and you'll pay just $99 for your first month and $145 a month after that. Medication costs are separate. Go to row.co/hoopsradio to help reach your goals. That's ro.co/hoopsradio. For important safety information, including a boxed warning about prescription GLP-1 medications, see row.co/safety-info/GLP-1.
This March, Wendy's has some amazing deals on their hamburgers made with fresh, never frozen beef.
Like a juicy Dave's single for $1 and a fresh $2 Dave's double with in-app offer.
It's such a good deal, we wrote a little ditty about it.
Get it for $1. Dave's single, order in the app. Dave's single, get it for $1. Choose wisely, choose Wendy's, official hamburger March Madness.
Limited time offer. Participating U.S. Wendy's. See offer details and redeem at Wendy's app. Account registration required. Fresh beef available in the contiguous U.S. and Alaska.
Basketball champion Stephen Curry and soccer superstar Alex Morgan want you to join the PGA Junior League team.
PGA Junior League is a fun team golf experience for kids that the entire family can enjoy.
Boys and girls learn the game from PGA and LPGA professionals and have a great time with friends.
Find your team and get ready for a fun and exciting PGA Junior League season.
I want to see you out playing in your jersey and having fun. Visit PGAJuniorLeague.com.
Today's broadcast of the regional semifinal round of the 2024 NCAA Women's Basketball Tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network is intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any reproduction, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the express written consent of the NCAA and Westwood One is strictly prohibited. We are tied at 58 between LSU and UCLA. Sweet 16 action here in Albany, New York, MVP Arena. Lance Meadow, Kim Adams with you. And one of the biggest changes in this game, Kim, is from the three-point line. UCLA, 2 of 17 in the first half, 5 of 12 in this half.
And they've gotten better looks. They're more open looks because they're moving the defense around. But what continues to really damage UCLA, Lance, is the turnovers. They have 18 turnovers. LSU has run those back for 21 points off of turnovers. So the number one key for UCLA, ball protection. The number one key for LSU, I would say, is ball movement and smart shot selection. We'll see how long Kim Mulkey elects to leave Angel Reese on the bench with the 4 personals, only player in the game with 4 fouls.
And Reese picked up that foul when you had noted that you thought Johnson was the one that hit Rice first. So it's important to keep that foul in mind because she's one issue away from watching the remainder of this game from the bench.
Yeah, and credit to Kiki Rice, who was fouled but kept the play alive and drew the second foul. And that's the fourth that sent Angel Reese to the bench. What a game this has been.
6 ties, 10 lead changes. And 6:41 to go in the fourth with a chance to advance to Monday's regional final here in Albany, New York. UCLA basketball having to go the length of the court. Brown, Rice, Jaquez, Osborne, and Betts. LSU on D. Johnson, Poa, Morrow, Williams, and Del Rosario.
And I can't help but to go back to that number, 9 top 25 wins for UCLA. Most in the country, they've been tested in these situations.
Specifically in their own conference in the Pac-12. Rice through the leg dribble, bounces it to Osborne, right wing. Lobs it down low, right side lane to Betts. Mid-range jumper, short off the right side of the rim. Del Rosario taps it to Johnson, and LSU will slow things down as we approach the 6-minute mark here in the fourth. Poa takes over between the circles. The junior out of Australia, as Johnson will now play off the ball. Floats it to Williams, top of the key. Comes around to Del Rosario. Screen, right elbow jumper on the money. Michaela Williams with 12 points, and it's a 60-58 LSU lead. Jaquez back the other way, right through the heart of the LSU D. Goes left to right, lays it in. We're knotted at 60. As Jaquez is now in double figures with 11. And it's now 11 lead changes. You love it when the numbers add up symmetrical. Morrow spins in the lane. The one-handed runner. Off the back iron, rebounded by Betts, outlet to Rice. 5:20 to go. Rice slows things down. Now flares back out on the wing. Cross-court feed to Osborne, left wing. Back top to Rice. 15 on the shot clock for the Bruins. Rice slowly maneuvers between the circles. Johnson playing off of her. 10 on the shot clock. Crossover dribble. Step back to Jaquez, top of the key. 7 on the shot clock. Down low to Betts. Maneuvers off the left post. Gingerly tries to lay it in and out. Jaquez grabs the loose ball and is fouled from behind as LSU picks up its 4th team foul here in the fourth quarter. There is a break in the action with the score tied at 60 with 4:57 to go in quarter number 4. You are listening to the Women's Basketball Tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
You've probably already heard about how effective medications like Ozempic, Wegovy, or Zepbound are. But did you know that these revolutionary shots may be available to you online through the Roe Body Program? Roe provides access to these shots, and they also offer support throughout the process to help you reach your goals. Roe's partner handles all of the insurance paperwork for you to help get medications like Ozempic covered. And if you're eligible for prescription medication, you'll have access to your provider on demand for any questions. Plus, one of the best parts of the Body Program is that you can sign up online from the comfort of your own home. So sign up today, and you'll pay just $99 for your first month and $145 a month after that. Medication costs are separate. Go to ro.co/hoopsradio to help reach your goals. That's ro.co/hoopsradio. For important safety information, including a boxed warning about prescription GLP-1 medications, see ro.co/safety-info/GLP-1.
Every day, PGA coaches across the country are helping golfers reach their goals.
First time picking up a club? Let's get started.
16th hole still giving you nightmares? Let's conquer it.
Want to bring a friend along? Let's learn together.
Let's focus on health.
On fun.
On nothing at all.
Let's talk goals.
Let's try something new.
Let's keep it going.
Let's have some fun. Improve, connect, or escape. Wherever your golf journey is headed, let's get you there. Find your PGA coach at pga.com/coach.
Where are my basketball fans at? Presents. Welcome to Fandom 101. The NCAA men's hoop season is here, meaning it's time for you to bring a little charisma and chaos for your squad. Be the 6th man in the stand. NCAA Division I men's basketball. Attendance is encouraged. Passion is mandatory. Buy your seats today at ncaa.com/MVP tickets. Class dismissed.
You can listen to Westwood One's exclusive coverage of both the NCAA men's and women's basketball tournament for free on the Varsity Network app. Listen to every game remaining live or on demand. Download the Varsity Network app now and search NCAA Championships. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network, your home for the national championships.
We're your ultimate pass on the field and in the stands. Sirius XM College Sports Radio, Channel 84.
Lance Meadow, Kim Adams back here with you. MVP Arena in Albany, New York. A Sweet 16 matchup between number 2 seed UCLA, 3rd seeded LSU, the defending national champs. We are tied at 60 with 4:57 to go in the 4th. LSU with 14 fouls, UCLA with 2. The Bruins have 3 timeouts left, LSU with a pair. The Bruins have shot much better here in the second half. LSU has cooled down, but the Tigers have been in attack mode, and foul trouble really across the board is something for both teams to monitor here, Kim, because you have 3 players with 3 personals apiece for UCLA, Rice, Osborne, and Betts. And then for LSU, Angel Reese has 4, and then 3 other players have 3 in Morrow, Del Rosario, as well as Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, under 5 minutes to go, if a player has 3, I would say that's not too alarming, unless you go to overtime, of course. But Angel Reese still on the bench. Kim Mulkey leaving her there with the 4 personals. But now we go to Gabrielle Jaquez at the free throw line. What an offensive rebound she had before we went to commercial to give herself this chance.
She now has 12 points on the day and is 3 of 3 from the free throw line as Jaquez comes in at 71%. And Angel Reese is getting up, ready to re-enter the game, but she'll stay on the sideline. Jaquez in and out on the second. Rebounded by Morrow, 61-60. UCLA unties the knot with LSU. Tigers basketball, 4:47 to go in the 4th. Williams, top of the key, comes around a Del Rosario screen. Dribbling on Betts, crossover dribble, pull up right elbow jumper, and just absolutely mauled and denied by Lauren Betts. She didn't stand a chance. Rice comes back the other way in the front court, and the Bruins can turn defense into offense. Oh, that was nasty.
My jaw dropped. That was a heck of a block from Betts.
Betts gets the entry feed. Off the right post, dribbles twice with her left hand, turns, fires. The hook shot short. Del Rosario fouled her, and Betts is going to go to the line to shoot 2.
The possession before, Lance, it looked like LSU had Betts in a mismatch with Michaela Williams, ball on a string, and she pulls up. Lauren Betts just gobbled up the ball. I have not seen a block like that this season.
Betts has 7 inches on Williams, and Williams learned that the hard way. Betts' first free throw attempt, nothing but net. As Betts already with a double-double. She is now 3 of 6 from the charity stripe. And you can make it 4 of 7. 63-60, UCLA leading LSU as we approach 4 minutes to go in the 4th quarter of the Sweet 16. Williams, high in the right wing, dribbles around a Reese screen left to right. Back to Reese, right side of the lane. Back to the bucket on Betts. Fakes right, goes left, tries to hook. And they're going to get Betts on the personal. That is going to be her 4th.
And credit to Angel Reese re-entering the game and just attacking that matchup, dribbling right into Lauren Betts, staying patient and drawing the foul.
So that was the 3rd team foul on UCLA. See, Reese initially went to the free throw line, but they said the foul was on the floor, so that's why now the Tigers are going to inbound from underneath their own bucket. Corey Close is going to make a sub. Sontak in. Betts is going to get a breather here with 4:01 to go in the 4th. It's now Sontak, Rice, Brown, Jaquez, and Osborne on defense for the Bruins. Van Lith to inbound underneath her own bucket, right baseline. To the cutting Johnson, who floats it in with the right hand. Beautifully executed from underneath their own bucket, 63-62. UCLA up by 1 with under 4 minutes to go. And Corey Close now wants to talk things over, taking a timeout. That is going to leave the Bruins with 2 timeouts. As that...
You had the screeners setting perfect screens, being wide, staying still, and then Flage Johnson perfectly running off of the shoulder of the screener, knowing a defender was chasing behind her, just freeing up an easy look at the rim.
Flage has 19 points to lead the way for the Tigers. She has scored in double figures the last 8 contests. She had 21 in their last game against Middle Tennessee and essentially picking up where she left off. She actually was 6 for 10 from the field in that game. Well, she's 6 of 10 again today. And LSU pulls within 1, but UCLA is in front. It'll be Bruins possession here. And Kim, one of the things you've been emphasizing throughout this broadcast is the Bruins are a different team when they look to get Betts involved. She doesn't have to shoot, but she should at least touch the basketball. And one statistic that Corey Close mentioned when she spoke to the media, and she made sure to highlight it, the Bruins shoot 13% higher when Betts touches the basketball on any given possession.
I mean, you don't need a mathematics master's degree to know that you want to keep feeding the ball in. And with Corey Close calling that timeout, she's now able to put Lauren Betts back in the game. She had subbed her out for a breather. They only lost 1 defensive possession. Now Betts is going to come back into the game. And the other main factor we've been discussing with UCLA is ball protection. They have cleaned that up the last couple of possessions. Bruins have to stay sharp and crisp in the passes to Betts, and for Betts passing out of double and triples.
UCLA basketball from the left sideline next to their own bench. Rice bounces it to Jones, to Osborne, right wing. 18 on the shot clock. Gets it to Jones. She's beyond the arc left side. Back top to Osborne. Not a lot of movement without the ball. Osborne backs up towards the left sideline. She's got 8 on the shot clock. She's near the timeline. 5 on the shot clock. Comes around a Betts screen. Pull up. Free throw jumper straight away and floats it in. Charisma Osborne with 8 points. Only her 3rd make of the day, and it's 65-62. The Bruins holding on for dear life with a 3-point advantage.
That's just a veteran making a play. Tough contested shot over Angel Reese.
Morrow across the lane, gets it to the cutting Reese off the right post, lays it in as Betts left her, and it makes it a 1-point game, 65-64 Bruins. As Angel Reese has 12 points and 10 boards. Osborne, right wing, tightly guarded by Williams. Dribbling between the circles with 13 on the shot clock. Crossover dribble down the left side of the lane. In the lane to the cutting Jaquez. Her floater bounces off the back iron twice and falls through. 67-64. Jaquez has 14.
She moves so well without the ball. She relocated to the middle of the paint in place for the perfect drop-off from Osborne.
2.5 to go. A 3-point game, as Morrow has it off the left post, and she floats one in that rolls around the rim and in. Morrow now is up to 16, and with that, a timeout taken here on the floor as UCLA leads LSU 67-66, and we're seeing both teams now, Kim, in attack mode around the basket.
Yeah, both teams shooting really efficiently, taking good shots the last couple of possessions for LSU. On that one, they found a mismatch for Anissa Morrow. She had 5'4" London Jones trying to defend her on the block.
Don't forget to join us again on April 5th and the 7th as Westwood One Sports brings you the women's Final Four and championship games from Cleveland. If you can't get to a radio, you can also listen to the games via the March Madness women's basketball app, the free Varsity Network app, on Alexa-enabled devices or online at westwoodonesports.com. If it's the NCAA women's tournament, it's right here on the Westwood One NCAA radio network. LSU back on the court with Williams, Reese, Van Lith, Morrow, and Johnson. UCLA milking as much of this timeout as possible with Betts, Jaquez, Rice, Osborne, and Dugalich.
And it was an interesting timeout taken by Kim Mulkey because LSU only has 1 timeout remaining. And we know how important these timeouts are in the women's game with the ability to advance with 59 seconds or less on the clock. So they'll have just 1 chance to do that if they need it.
Bruins have to go the length of the court. LSU had full court press, now drops back. Rice has yet to cross the timeline. She does so with 21 on the shot clock. Close, very emotional on the UCLA sideline, guiding traffic as Jaquez takes over between the circles. 13 on the shot clock. Crossover dribble, tightly guarded by Williams. Gives up her dribble. Floats it to Dugalich. Has a step on her defender. Off balance, spank shot attempt. Off the rim and rebounded by Betts, who then lost it to Van Lith. Johnson then recovers. And LSU is in the half-court set. A helter-skelter possession there.
Dugalich just got caught in no woman's land, leaving her feet. Wasn't sure to shoot.
Johnson threads the needle to the cutting Reese off the left post. Can't finish at the rim, but she was fouled. And Angel Reese will head to the free throw line to shoot 2, where she is 4 of 5 today. And it's going to go against Dugalich. That is going to be her third.
Johnson and Angel Reese have been so good in the two-woman game. Looking at that replay, Johnson just patrolling, commanding two defenders, and Reese rolls in from the left side to the left block, and she's slapping her hands on the court. She's fired up.
And that was also the fourth team foul, on UCLA. Reese, first attempt, up and in. So she is now 5 of 6 from the line. The SEC Player of the Year, first team All-SEC, also SEC All-Defense. You name it, she earned the honor. And she hits both free throws. LSU back in front, 68-67. A minute 42 to go in this Sweet 16 matchup between second seed UCLA, third seed LSU. Rice down the left side lane, her floater blocked by Johnson. Johnson recovers the ball, and then a foul on the Bruins. That is going to be the 15th foul. And Rice is going to pick up her fourth, excuse me.
Taking a look at that replay, picture-perfect block from Flau'jae Johnson, and then complicating the mistake, Kiki Rice with the foul in the bonus. Johnson able to walk down for 2 free throws.
So that is the 15th foul against the Bruins, and Johnson is 76% on the season, and her first attempt, nothing but net. She is 6 of 7 today. She now is up to 20 points, along with 9 rebounds. It's the 8th time she has reached the 20-point plateau this season. And the second one drops through as well. 70-67. 3-point lead for LSU with a minute 28 and counting to go. Bruins possession. Betts hands off to Osborne. Drives right baseline. Corner underneath the bucket. Shuffles it to Rice. Left corner drives the lane. Awkward floater. Air ball. Jaquez recovers. They're going to say it was last touched by LSU as Johnson's body was on the baseline. It will stay with the Bruins. They'll have 20 on the shot clock. Now, 2 officials are conferring. The direction is still pointing in favor of the Bruins here as they're going to reset the clock. It's now to 30. And now we have 3 officials having a conversation. They're preventing the teams from going back to their respective benches. It's UCLA basketball, 30 on the shot clock, a minute 17 to go. They were just about to hand the ball to Rice, and it looks like there was a bit of a clock issue. The technology cooperates, and Rice will inbound. Left baseline, closest to her own bench. Johnson swarming her. Rice having trouble. Dangerous pass. Right wing to Jaquez. Drives down the lane. The up and under. No good. Betts the rebound, and Betts is fouled. Now, Reese and Johnson were both there. Let's see who they get this against. Because if it's against Reese, it's going to be her 5th. And Reese is going to be able to stay in the game because they're going to get it instead on Johnson.
Credit to Lauren Betts for staying aggressive. We're looking at a replay where she is just surrounded by 3 purple jerseys. As we're looking at the replay, though, I did not see too much contact there, Lance.
Well, interestingly, they're giving Morrow the foul, Kim, and Morrow actually was behind the play. She had her hands straight up. She didn't even make any contact with Betts.
What we couldn't see on the replay was the lower body, so perhaps they saw some contact with the lower body, but up top, it looked clean.
So Betts to the line, 4 of 7 today, with her team down by 3. And the first attempt falls right through the bottom of the net. Lauren Betts, in her first season with UCLA, transferring from Stanford and making quite the impact. Second attempt around the rim and out, rebounded by Reese. She makes 1 of 2, 70-68. LSU leads UCLA. A minute 05 and counting here in the 4th quarter. The winner goes to the Elite 8. Van Lith dribbling out to the right wing. She's beyond the arc. Gives up her dribble in front of her own bench to Reese off the right elbow. Gets a clear out. Working on Betts. Dribbles right to left. Denied by Betts, who reached over her and swatted it away. Johnson picks it up. 4 on the shot clock. Down the right side lane. The scoop shot. Up and in underneath Betts. 72-68 LSU. UCLA back the other way. Rice pushes off. Offensive foul. as she took Van Lith for the ride, and that is going to be her 5th and final foul. Rice is going to watch from the bench. So Jones will come in to replace her as we look at the replay, and Kim, it was obvious she used the left hand for leverage to push off.
Absolutely, and it was Haley Van Lith, the Louisville transfer, stepping right in front of Kiki Rice, maintaining position. Kiki Rice has to head out, but how about the play before? There was a really nice block from Lauren Betts. It came right to Flau'jae Johnson, and like we've seen her do all afternoon, she attacked Flau'jae Johnson up to 23 points and 11 rebounds. She has been tremendous for LSU.
And Johnson usually is the facilitator, working Morrow and Reese down low. Today, she has picked her spots effectively, and a great job in salvaging the possession, grabbing the loose ball, and attacking the rim once again, as this is now the 18th time this season that at least 2 LSU players have had a double-double, Kim, in the same game. Today, it's Reese and a member of their backcourt in Johnson.
Yeah, usually it's Reese and Morrow, but Johnson, I mean, she's had a ton of good games over her first 2 years, but this is a big stage, big moment. She's been a huge impact on the defensive end as well, altering shots, blocking shots, forcing turnovers. She's played a complete floor game here.
4-point lead for LSU over UCLA, 72-68, 39.3 seconds to go. And Rice turned the ball over because as she was driving baseline, she pushed off on Van Lith, also fouled out. So the Bruins now are going with Jones, Jaquez, Suntok, Brown, and Osborne on defense as LSU takes back to the court with Reese, Johnson, Williams, Van Lith, and Morrow.
And it's an interesting decision here for Corey Close. It's a 2-possession game with about 9 seconds between game and shot clock. Do you foul right away and try to extend this game, or do you play the full possession out? LSU has shot free throws really well, 18 of 23, so it's just a tough call all around.
Johnson to inbound right in front of her own bench, far right sideline, gets it into Van Lith near the timeline, and Jones pressures her and fouls her. And for London Jones, that'll be her 3rd personal. And that will send Van Lith to the line. She's 83% on the season, 1 for 2 today. Betts back in. Cameron Brown takes a seat for the Bruins. That was the 7th team foul against LSU, against UCLA, as Van Lith is trying to give them some breathing room, and her first attempt is nothing but net. And this is what you expect out of championship caliber teams, being able to take advantage at the charity stripe, and she does so with both to make it a 74-68 LSU lead, as UCLA and LSU will return to their respective benches. The Bruins utilizing a timeout to talk things over. So they went for that quick foul, Kim, that you mentioned, after not being able to steal the inbounds. 6-point game, 36 seconds to go. There's a team that struggled overall from beyond the arc, but has hit 5 in the second half. What's your mindset here if you're the UCLA offense?
Yeah, so you're down 6. Well, Corey Close just subbed in Angela Dugalich, which tells me they're leaning to draw up a 3 first, because Dugalich is a 3-point threat for them. So I would draw up a quick 3. London Jones, your best 3-point threat. Charisma Osborne, not as good of a percentage, but has knocked down big shots. But you also want to have a quick release 2 if everything is defended well by LSU. But I would guess Corey Close is going to draw up a first option 3, but you have to work quickly if the first option isn't available.
So UCLA to inbound with Jaquez near right sideline. Lobs it cross court to Dugalich, left wing, in the corner to Osborne, down low to Betts, and she's blocked by Reese, but a late whistle. And that is going to be the 5th and final foul on Angel Reese, who knows it immediately, doesn't argue it, and just runs back to the LSU bench as Del Rosario will replace her. And Angel Reese not pleased with that call because Betts will head to the line for 2 with the clock stopped with 31.5 seconds to go.
And it was an interesting possession for UCLA, but we mentioned Dugalich, who's a very capable three-point shooter. She passed up a wide-open three. No one was in her zip code. It looked like they wanted to get it into Betts, which they did, but I thought they passed up a pretty good look at a three.
Betts, 5 of 9 today from the line, make it 6 of 10. So it's now a 5-point advantage for LSU. And Betts has an opportunity to bring them even closer. Bends her knees, high-arcing release, in and out. Johnson had it, loses it. It's a scramble. Johnson picks it up in between 3 UCLA defenders, and then a whistle is going to send us back the opposite way, as that personal is going to go against UCLA.
And that's why that open three is looming a little bit. You get just 1 point on that possession. Maybe miss the three, get an offensive rebound, but who picks up the board? Flau'jae Johnson, who has been the MVP of this game.
She has put her stamp all over this contest. Johnson, 7 of 8 from the line. Foul went against Jaquez, as that was just her first. And Johnson, with 27.3 seconds to go, knocks down the first free throw. She now has 24 points and 12 rebounds. She is 1 point away from matching her season high. The sophomore out of Savannah, Georgia, who helped LSU win a title as a freshman. In and out on the second. 75-69, UCLA enters the front court. Osborne down the right baseline, sealed off by Poa. Cross-court feed left corner to Jones. Step back three, off the front to the rim. Dugalich, the floater from the right post. Partially blocked from behind. Morrow comes down with the loose ball on the left post. Foul, and LSU will slowly walk back to the opposite end of the court as they are sensing a spot in Monday's regional final against the winner of Iowa and Colorado.
UCLA got the ball to their best three-point shooter, but has just been a struggle. 7 of 30 for the Bruins. And again, it was Johnson altering the play on the rebound.
Morrow, no good off the back iron on the first. She is 2 for 5 from the line today. And the junior out of Chicago, Illinois, rattles it around the rim and in on the second to make it a 76-69 lead for the Tigers. And UCLA, once again, utilizing a timeout so they can advance the ball and talk things over. But, Kim, as you hit on, 7 of 30 from beyond the arc, and this is the time of the game where they need that long-range shooting to go. It's been very up and down. It started cold, it got hot for a stretch, but now they've returned to form from the beginning of the contest.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's why that free throw there from Anissa Morrow was a big one, taking it from 2 possessions to 3 possessions. Corey Close using her final timeout to advance. Has to be another quick draw, 4 of 3. Again, London Jones has made 4. Charisma Osborne has made 2. Dugalich 0 for 4, but I still have seen her knock down some big ones over the course of the season, but it's a 3-possession game here. Tough uphill climb.
So the Bruins will inbound from the left sideline. Suntok cross court to Dugalich from the right corner. Her jumper off the left side of the rim, rebounded by Van Lith. Avoids getting tied up and then draws the foul as Osborne and Suntok trapped her in the far left corner.
Again, a perfect draw from Corey Close, a wide open Dugalich, but that makes it 7 of 31 from 3 for the Bruins.
And this quarter, UCLA overall 6 of 14 from the field after they shot lights out in the third. Foul goes against Suntok, and Van Lith to the line where she's 3 of 4, and you can make it 4 of 5. Van Lith does a lot of the small things that don't always show up in the box score. Here's another game where she's in single digits, but clutch free throws down the stretch to make it 78-69 LSU. Dugalich inbounds to Osborne, across the timeline, shovels it to Dugalich, straightaway wide open 3, off the back iron, final buzzer sounds. LSU secures it with Morrow. And the defense of the title will carry on to Monday night in the regional final, as the LSU Tigers still have yet at least another chapter to write. They go to their 10th Elite Eight in program history, and they do it for the second straight season, a 78-69 victory over UCLA, as Kim Mulkey and company are still breathing in the women's NCAA tournament.
And you saw an experienced group today. I know there was some turnover in the roster with just a couple of the pieces from last year's team coming back, but those pieces shine today. Angel Reese fouled out of the game but had some big moments. Flau'jae Johnson, a tremendous showing. She finishes with 24 points and 12 rebounds. Credit to UCLA with another valiant comeback, but at the end of the day, LSU just made the bigger plays on both ends of the floor.
And Kim, that's what championship contenders are able to do. They're able to come up with a variety of different elements of the game to close up shop. And we talked about the free throw shooting. Fourth quarter, LSU was 12 of 15 from the line. Flau'jae Johnson with so many hustle plays. And it was a balanced attack. 4 players scored in double figures, including Anissa Morrow, who had 17 points to go along with 4 rebounds, and she and her teammates are heading to the Elite Eight. Anissa, first of all, congratulations. This was a highly contested game down the stretch. What does it say about your team to survive the...
So we knew that we had to be together tonight, and it showed that both defensively and offensively.
Anissa, I covered you at DePaul. This is your first NCAA.
I just want to be as consistent as I can for my team, defensively, offensively, and just if I know that I haven't missed, I want to go home either. So you got to see that tonight.
And Anissa, you'll move on to the Elite Eight, waiting to see who the opponent will be. But what excites you about that opportunity ahead?
I've never been here before, so every game I'm getting closer to my goal.
Well, Anissa, soak it in, enjoy with your teammates. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Anissa Morrow, all smiles as she and her LSU Tigers are moving on to the Elite Eight, 78-69 over UCLA. Let's run you through the final statistics. So I mentioned Flau'jae Johnson, a double-double, 24 points, 12 rebounds. That is her second double-dip of the season. Angel Reese joined her in the double-double category, 16 points, 11 rebounds. Morrow added 17, and then Michaela Williams finished the double-digit scoring load with 12. They shot 24 of 31 from the line, 46% from the field. UCLA also had 4 players scoring double figures, 14 apiece for Jaquez, Jones, and Betts, 13 for Rice, but they were 7 of 32 from beyond the arc. They missed 6 free throws, which certainly adds up overall in the course of the game, and no field goals by the Bruins in the last 2:46. Kim, I feel this game was bookended. They started slow, and they finished slow.
Yeah, and it was the defense from LSU that at the end of the day swung this game to hold UCLA to 35% shooting. They forced 19 turnovers. They just didn't allow UCLA to feel comfortable in the offense for long stretches at a time. I don't think UCLA was ever comfortable in the first half. LSU set the tone defensively.
It is time for renewal by Anderson, player of the game. Kim, who you got?
I may have teased this a couple points of the game, but the sophomore guard, Flau'jae Johnson, was just on one this afternoon. 24 points, 7 of 11 from the floor. Had great production at the free throw line as well. 8 of 10 from there. But how about the rebounding from the guard? 12 rebounds and 2 blocks, Flau'jae Johnson, and I think a couple of other altered shots that won't show up. Flau'jae Johnson, our player of the game.
And it is sponsored by Renewal by Anderson, the company with the most 5-star reviews among leading full-service window replacement companies. Right now, save $377 off every window and $770. From LSU's perspective, matchup-wise, who do you think the Tigers are pulling for given the fact that they did play Iowa in the national championship game last season, and they played Colorado in the season opener this year and actually lost that contest.
Yeah, great points. I mean, I think at this point of the season, you're just happy to be in the game. You don't really care who the opponent is going to be. I mean, you'd probably not love to go against the nation or the all-time leading scorer in the game in Caitlin Clark, but again, they may want that challenge. There's revenge they could seek from either one of these two matchups. So I think they're mostly focused on themselves. Each of these teams a bit similar in makeup, honestly. So I think they'll be happy to see either of these teams. They're still alive.
And Colorado and Iowa are renewing their rivalry. They actually met in this round in Seattle last season. Coming up, we'll have the encore performance. The final score from Albany, Game 1. Third-seeded and defending national champion LSU. Moving on to the Elite Eight with a 78-69 victory over number 2 seed UCLA. You are listening to the women's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Progressive presents Renter's MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Joe